Guys, my name is Ron Sara. That's Ninja Iceberg. This is a Hub 408 episode 152. We hope you guys are doing well out there. Thank you guys for watching us. If you happen to be watching us on YouTube, Facebook, uh, I don't know what else, Twitch,
Twitch.
Kumu also. And I do got to go live on my Kumu. So please download Kumu right now. You can follow me and Ninja Iceberg on there. We do content, all types of fun stuff. So make sure you guys download that. We're going to be talking about pop culture. Could be comics, could be the NBA, could be all types of other stuff. Things going on in real life right now. So, again, thank you guys for watching us. How are you, Ninja?
Just living life. Existing at the moment.
Existing amongst all this. What a fam. We going. We live in crazy times, man. I can't even explain it.
Yeah, there's a saying called "May you live in interesting times." It honestly means, it's throwing shade. You live in a shitty situation. Is basically what it means.
Okay. We are very much that. I would say right now, right? Like, there was one day, and I don't usually do this. I don't usually feel this way, but there was just one day I was just like, wow, dude. Like, look how fucking. I've always been a kid, like many other children that have grown up under the premise or whatever of, hey, the future. Even though, yeah, there's messed up stuff. We are towards advancing, evolving, right? And I think I got more sad, Ninja, off of the regression of
true.
of human people. Do you feel that way? You get what I mean?
Yeah. It's you didn't know how. I mean, living in the Bay Area, I guess you're kind of used to a certain type of people who are a little bit more, I don't know, in touch with the world. You just don't realize how, I guess, ignorant a lot of people are outside of this bubble. I suppose that's all I can really say. It's just ignorance. People are just fucking stupid. Like, we've always talked about how, certain people will vote against their own best interests, right? To spite certain people's. And that's where we are right now, because some people just want to win, that they are willing to basically screw themselves over, The saying of, like, not not only do I have to win, my enemies have to lose. Well, guess what? Everyone loses if you win, right? Even yourself. It's a Pyrrhic victory. You are literally burning yourselves alive to get the win, and for what? It's very frustrating. Everyone's talking about, like, these are my rights, or this is, no one can. This is how I see the world, but it's so short-sighted. It's so ignorant. It's so it makes no sense. There's this article I wanted to talk about in the Washington Post, and it kind of encapsulates part of what I'm thinking about, of America and how screwed this country is. It's a Washington Post article. Basically, the title is "Trying to Stay Safe in a Mass Shooting and to Overcome the Fear Created." It's a how-to guide of how to get through a mass shooting, because that's where we are in this country. I kind of wanted to go through it in a little bit.
Well, I was gonna say, I would have never thought that there'd be a time in my life too where, like, how many places or places of work have practiced for, just in case a mass shooting or somebody were to come on site and start spraying at folks. You know what I mean?
Schools,
So
schools.
schools, yep, and even in other places too. I remember. Well, I can't say the name of the. I'm not trying to think, but I worked there for a couple years. You know what I mean? If you guys know, it's one of the blue brands out there. And yeah, we had training on that too, just in case something were to happen. You know what I mean? Like, what do you do and all that stuff. So um, it's um, it's crazy times that we're living in. Hi user,
Mm-hmm.
hi Ria, hi Tai Tai. Kumusta? Shout out sa lahat ng mga tao out there. Make sure to follow me, Ron Sara, and also Ninja Iceberg. This is a Hub 408. Thank you guys so much. Go ahead and write down in the comments too. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Yeah, I mean that's
whatever you
it's
get.
not just it's not just that. It's not just the fact that July 4th had the most American. We had the most American July 4th. It's not just that. It's just a combination of everything that's happening. The fact
Man,
that
how so? We can't even enjoy what was what. I mean, I know to some people it's not supposed to. You know, there's a great deal of pride in your independence as a nation, but also to some like, hey, maybe that day doesn't even matter. But I guess in our westernized culture, we're just so used to when that day comes around, it is just a time that you would like to relax on that day. You would like to just be chill and all that stuff too,
relax,
right?
have a barbecue with your
What's up,
friends.
Robert? Hi, do. What up, Annabelle? How are you? Thank you guys for joining us. If you guys are still here, I don't know if you guys are. Anyways, this is a Hub 408. We're just talking. We're catching up with the latest in the news, pop culture, whatever it is. What's up, Post Up? What up, Do? How are you? We're talking about. Hey, we're living in me and Waldo's living in some crazy times here. You know what I mean? In America, Waldo's out there in the Bay Area. I'm out here in Sacramento currently at the moment. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Hey Waldo, when that news came up on July 4th, I'm just saying like, damn, we can't even have one day
Mm-hmm.
because we're so
Yeah,
accustomed.
yeah.
We
Mm-hmm.
just talked about right now about that article talking about it's a how-to in case a
Yeah.
mass shooting happens at a school,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But I mean, we live in those times now where damn, not even on July 4th. Like I expect this then on all major holidays, Christmas, Thanksgiving. You know what I'm saying? You might as well. I don't mean to be morose like that. I'm just saying like you might as well get down on those days too.
Yeah.
Even though there is a lot of maybe domestic stuff that actually go on during those holidays too, right?
So I mean, okay, yeah, gun deaths in America, the a majority of them are domestic violence deaths. You know, it's very rare that a mass shooting, that you'll die in mass shooting. It's exceedingly rare, like super rare. But the fact that you never know when it's going to happen, the fact that it can pop at any moment, at any time, is what makes it so unique, I guess,
Mm-hmm.
and so frustrating. But yes, the vast majority of murders by gun are like domestic violence type stuff. The other big portion is obviously suicide. Suicide's a huge. There's a huge number of people who kill themselves using a firearm. Um,
During the holidays too,
just well, I mean, sure,
all
but
days.
anytime, anytime's a good time, I guess. If you're in
I
that
mean,
mood, which
if you're gonna be selfish
please,
about it, if you're gonna be selfish about it, might as well do it on a day where like on a Christmas, on a July 4th. What's up? I'm for real. How are you? You know what I mean, Ninja? When you have
did you
guns in the home like that and stuff like that.
yeah
Sorry.
no did
I
you
tried
did
to
you
move
see the
away from my comment. Go ahead.
did you see the July 4th story where the little boy, both his parents got killed during that shooting, the Highland Park shooting?
Ugh, tough, dude. And of course, a grandfather too that was here from Mexico, right?
Yeah,
It's a
yeah.
tradition they do every year, right? To go to this parade and relax and have fun. You know what I mean? Ends up, ends up not going home that night too, which is it's
Mhm.
unfortunate. They don't have this in other countries. They
Yeah.
don't have things like this in, say, the Philippines. Walang yung mga mass shooting sa inyo dyan, sa Pilipinas. You know what I'm saying? This stuff only,
Yeah.
and this is the thing too, right? Let's be whatever. We were just talking about violence and all this stuff. How much violence isn't reported? How much violence only gets forgotten about, also because it belongs to certain communities. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So when
Sure.
these
Those are the
folks out,
everyday ones. Yeah.
correct. So when these tragedies happen like this, you know what I'm saying? It also makes you wonder, why is this? Well, I'm wondering. I don't know about you, Waldo, but it's like, how's this person not dead? You know what I'm
How's that
saying?
person
How's
know
it?
that? No, no, for reals. So here's the thing, right? Like in I think it was Akron. There's a guy that got killed, right? Got pumped 60 times by cops, right? I don't know if you saw this. This was like a week ago.
Okay.
He he was running from the cops because of a traffic stop. Okay, and I guess as he was driving away, there was one shot. Okay, so
Automatically.
there's there was one shot from the suspect. I think it was Jalen Williams. I think was his name. They say there was one shot. There's security footage. You can't really see whether or not there's one shot. There's body cam footage, but it's from the cop behind the car. You don't see the cop. You don't see the suspect. Okay, you hear a
Mm.
pop. So it might be one shot. I don't know. We don't really know. The information is still coming out. He pulls over and he starts running from the cops. There's like 8 cops there. They unload into him. And mind you, he's running away. Okay? He's running away. They think he's going for a gun, but obviously he's pulling up his pants. Right? They shoot him. He goes down. They go over to him. He's
Man,
on the ground. They keep shooting him. They shoot 90 times. They hit him 60 times for a traffic stop. Okay?
they let off
This
that. They let off what a press play. I'm sorry, press play. We're talking about some violence right now, but they let off
so
90 shots
so I
into
think
this
there was
person.
there's like 8 cops there, right? And cops are trained to mag dump. Okay, I think I've talked about this before, right? When cops shoot a perp or a suspect or whatever, they unload the entire magazine. And if we're talking like like a Glock, let's say there's
Mm.
10 to 12 bullets in a magazine or something like that, right?
Okay.
That's why you have 90 shots fired. You had 8 cops. I think it's like 12 bullets at that point per mag. They unload. 60 of them get hit the guy. They shoot him while he's also on the ground, right? For a traffic stop. This motherfucker in
Mm.
Highland Park kills like 6 or 7 people, and they take him without resistance. Like this like if you had shot this guy, because he got pulled over, right? I think is what happened. He got pulled over by a traffic stop, and that's how they got him. If he had gotten murdered, I don't think anyone's going to be saying anything. I mean, okay, no. Let me take that back. People will still say something, but no one's going to be like, "Yo, what the fuck?" They'll be like, "Huh, okay, well, that sucks that they killed him without bringing him to justice, but at the same time, you killed the people that you're supposed to kill, right?" But that's where
And
cops make no sense to me. You,
and
you kill the
but
person, you kill the people that you're not supposed to kill, and you don't kill the people that you're supposed to kill, that we expect you to kill. You know?
one thing I was tripping off of this particular case, though, too, most mass shooters, they know they're not coming back,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. They don't give a
But
shit.
but this dude, this fucking dude, dresses up, disguises himself.
Mm-hmm.
I think also to take advantage of how diverse and different we're supposed to be. I mean, clearly,
Yeah.
if I look at somebody like that, I'm like, okay, I know you don't identify as a white cis male. You know what I'm saying? I know you're
If
gonna,
that's what you're thinking, yeah, that's what you're
you
thinking
know what
about.
I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Mm-hmm.
You
Sure.
you get exactly what I'm saying. So
Mm-hmm.
this dude let off all these rounds. What's up, AJ? How are you?
Yeah, he was like on a building.
This dude let off all these rounds,
Yeah.
and he's in disguise. So
Yep. As a woman.
he's trying to get up out of there.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he probably would have gotten away with it. I didn't know it was a traffic stop, Ninja.
Yeah. It was a traffic stop.
So this idiot couldn't keep his
The most
composure together.
way of getting fucking caught up.
He couldn't get his composure. He was probably. I think he was driving a Prius, something like that too.
I don't remember about that. I don't know about that. But
All I'm saying is, all I'm saying is though that in any other instance too, just like what Ninja had said, I think a person of color. You know what I mean? They get into a situation like that, they're dead off top.
yeah.
But then this person, in a way, and I don't mean to raise a flag for him, but in a way, he succeeds because he gets away with the murders. He doesn't die.
Yeah.
He'll get that clout in his head of, if that's what he's seeking for. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They said he was a
No,
rapper.
no,
A rapper
it's
too.
definitely clout. Yeah,
You know
no,
what I
it
mean?
is the clout. Yeah.
So he has that ego in him. If you're an artist, if you rap, if you make music, whatever, you have that ego in you. So for all the other idiots to follow the idiots of the past, whether it's Columbine, whether it's whatever, these people are so infatuated with these type of individuals. It's like, again, who am I to judge, right? Who am I to judge? But if this person was wiped out, like what they just said earlier, I don't think we'd be talking about this dude. We'd be like, yo, this idiot's gone. But instead, we got to live with this idiot and other folks that, I mean, let's be real. There's copycats out there too, right? There's folks that actually praise these type of folks.
Right.
So,
There's online communities that these guys join, and they kind of push each other
Yep.
to do these kinds of things, right? Like they shit post and they talk shit, and so they post things on these forums, and they kind of egg each other on.
Mm-hmm.
And this mass shootings are basically their last post, right? They go out big on their final post. That's basically what this is. It's these people pretty much just shit posting, That's what it is. That's why it is clout. It is basically clout.
And for some reason, well, they do get the publicity from mainstream, but they really want, just like what you said, they want the clout, they want the respect or whatever from the folks that are like minded, just like them too.
Yeah.
Right. So like, if the internet was, it's been on for a while, but I'm just saying during these mass shootings from the past, maybe you probably would have seen more of this type of behavior. I think, you know what I'm saying? Like if those original dudes, you know what I mean, in the trench coats and stuff, if they were out already videotaping themselves, you know, feeding their egos, or whatever it is, I bet you we'd have much more. But I think because through word of mouth or through history, these guys keep a collective history, just like how I have a collective history about comics, wrestling, basketball, whatever it is. These guys have a collective history of these type of incidents, to where this is why they live until the day comes for them to, probably perish. But this guy didn't perish. This guy was afraid. You know what I mean? He was out of there. You know what I'm saying? And I think
he planned it out. Yeah.
And I think that's what. Look, I'm not trying to talk like a serial killer shooter type, but I understand when people are like, "Hey, well, I don't understand. I'm not. I've never been in that mind state. I'm trying to understand." Waldo, when somebody goes into a shooting type situation, they're like, "Hey, I probably won't make it out there. I'm gonna shoot myself." Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Tell me if I'm wrong, because we go there, with certain things, but this guy did what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Shot a bunch of people, and he's supposed to get the hell up out of there, right?
Yeah.
And try to escape. You know what I'm saying? But again, when you leave a paper trail, when you leave certain things, it's easy to get caught. It's easy to get caught up. And this guy got caught on his own accord of fucking up. You know what I'm saying? Of messing up with
Locking.
Yeah, I don't know if he was recorded on any other type of security camera or stuff besides
security cam, and I think there was like eyewitness cam or something like that.
Mm.
Yeah, there's a couple different things that caught him lacking, basically.
This is one of those times, though, Waldo, where I would have wanted on some like, damn, I wish they just wipe this dude out. Just you know what I mean? This guy's trash, dude. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
This guy's trash. And hey, he gets to go to trial now. You know what I mean? Like no matter what,
sure.
it's going to be bad for him. You know what I mean? But I think what he wanted, he got. You know, I
Yeah,
mean, we're
yeah.
talking about it. You know what I mean? And not only are we talking about it, at least we're disgusted by it. You know what I mean? But think about all his friends in those communities, all those chat rooms, like, yo, what's his name did it?
Hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And just completely puts a battery in their back. You
Hmm.
know what I mean? With, hey, I'm trying to get my shit off too.
Yeah, yeah. The I mean, yes, that is very true. The community themselves are very. I mean, yes, it's horrendous. The communities themselves, but you also have to look at the people who allow this to happen, right? We have to look at like the gun sellers. All his guns were legal, right?
Mm-hmm.
All the guns that he brought to that whole thing was
Recently
legal.
bought too, right?
Recently
Recently
bought
bought.
legal. Um, he apparently was in trouble with the law. Like they had to take away his knives before, so the police knew him. His parents knew that he had trouble, right?
Mm.
The place had a. I mean, I guess because it's Illinois, there's like background checks and red flag laws and stuff like that. But obviously, they're not strict enough that he was able to get these guns. And then you have the people who won't do anything about it. You know, our lawmakers, our legislators, they just won't do anything about it. And they keep saying that everyone needs to have guns to protect themselves, and it's insane. You know that makes no sense.
Mm.
Like you have these politicians that are basically who will absolutely do nothing. There's one guy. He's a black Republican in Arizona, I think. His ad basically starts talking about how if he gets if he gets rushed by 30 Democrats in KKK garb, he's gonna have his AR-15 and he's gonna shoot him, right? And there's a video ad of this online,
Mm.
and my first thought is, okay, you have an AR-15 to protect you from these 30 Democratic Klan members. Those 30 guys will have AR-15s, right? This is the world that you're advocating for. Just because you have an AR-15 doesn't mean the other guy doesn't have an
Mm.
AR-15. You know, and in your situation, you have 30 dudes coming after you. You don't think they'll have guns? Are you fucking serious?
Mm.
it's it's a the it's ridiculous. And this was just last week. I think his name is Jaron Davidson. Let me see if I can pull it up. It is he's like a pastor, but his ad is wild. Um, and then in Arizona, uh, there's a senator or legislator. Her name is Debbie Lesko, and she's basically saying how she is so against uh, taking away gun rights because she wants to protect her grandkids,
Mm.
and she wants to protect her grandkids so hard that she will shoot her grandkids to save them. And I'm just like, what what does that even mean? You know, what is what does that mean? That doesn't even make sense. That's all right. Hold on.
Come,
Here's the ad. Here's
comes
the
off as white
ad.
trash to me.
It's ridiculous. But here's the
I'm gonna
Jaron
shoot them if
David.
I have to.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot
Like
my
what?
grandkids if I have to. That's what she said, basically. And I'm just like, wait, you're gonna save your grandkids by
In order
shooting
to
them?
save them, I'm gonna hit them with a buckshot. Right? Right. Right.
All right. I'm not gonna play this sound, but you can see the imagery that this guy's trying to go for. All right. All right. So here's his ad.
This is a real campaign.
This is a real campaign. He's saying that these guys, these dudes, are gonna come after him,
Wow. He hit
and
the
he's gonna
Malcolm
have
at
his
the window pose, by the way.
yeah. But look at that. He has an AR-15. You don't think those Klan members are gonna have AR-15s? Like seriously, you think the Democratic Klan members, because
Jerome
they're
Davis.
liberals, you think liberals who are wearing Klan robes who are going to go after you are not going to wear fucking? I mean, first of all, it's all twisted, right? Like liberals are not going to be wearing their just because Democrats back in the day were racist doesn't mean that they're going to be wearing Klan robes like this nowadays. I'm going to say they're probably still racist, but they're not racist like this. They all went Republican.
First of all, this is an unbelievable video right here. Jerome Davison, who's running
Yeah,
for Congress here. First of all, let's break this down as so. Look at that. He has his American cup and he's praying right here. He's
yeah, he's a
praying
pastor. Yeah,
about what I'm about to do. You know what I'm
like
saying?
like these guys have garden tools. Get the fuck out of
They
here,
have
dude. These Klan
garden
members are
tools.
gonna.
This is crazy. These guys came from a time machine. And now these guys, and all of a sudden yes he has. First of all, those glasses are crazy, but I love how he had his rifle up like, yo, who want it?
Yeah,
you know
right.
First of all, they got the prop from Walking Dead with the bat, right? That's
Yeah,
Lucille, I believe.
The Negan bat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and you're right, they do come with garden
garden tools.
these guys came on a time machine. Waldo, I mean, yeah, right. They would not be dressed like that, first of all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, hold on. We'll we'll blow it up so people can see. This is what this guy is
This is
doing. Look at
wild.
that. Like he even
Look
they
at
even
that
have a
cup.
little. Did you see the patch on the
Yep.
Klan hoodie? It's a little little Democratic thing. Look, I'm not a fan of the Democrats either, but again, like I said, if these motherfuckers are gonna rush you, they're gonna have guns too. Okay, they're not gonna come at you
Look,
with
look at
a
the Ray
garden hoe.
Bans too. Yeah, let's just keep this playing. It's going to keep playing anyway, right? I mean, like these guys would be look on some Proud Boy shit, but they're not. Or how those guys that storm. Well, I don't know. These guys are claiming they're Democrats, which is crazy. I bet you they're not.
Yeah.
They have
Well,
Democratic
no,
symbols on.
they're not. This is his ad. He's saying that the Democrats are the Klansmen, the modern day
Oh
Klansmen. But
man,
I mean, but the real story is that the Klan back in the day were Democrats because the Democrats back in the day
hi
were the
Vina.
racist party. But then there
This
was
is
a thing.
crazy.
There was a shift over
And this is in
where
Arizona, correct?
yeah, yeah, and there was a shift over from
He
where
made
all
a
the Democrats.
trailer.
Yeah, all the
What's up,
Democrats
Rocky?
switched over to the Republicans, and
This is
so a lot of the that's why a lot of the overt racists are in the Republican Party now.
This is crazy. You mean to tell me this pastor right here, Jerome Davison for Congress, Arizona Congress. Let's break this down for Rocky Rock here. What's up, Rocky? You see that, Rocky? He had his American cup. He's praying, right? Because he knows he knows a white storm is about to come. Look at that dude with the hoe. He has a garden hoe. Look at he hit the Malcolm at the window. Almost like a black Terminator, though, right? He looks like Terminator. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Look at that. I'll be back, right? Jerome
Mm-hmm.
Davison for Congress. And again, these Klansmen have Democratic symbols because Jerome Davison. First of all, Jerome Davison praying after he had his tea, hilarious. And look at that. He put on his glasses, got the rifle out. These guys came from a time machine. You know what I'm saying? Like, who allowed these folks? Man, this is crazy.
So he goes, but when you have a dozen Democrats in Klan robes coming after you, you might just need your AR-15 and all 30 rounds.
Ray-Bans too.
Right?
Right?
I say, You don't think those guys will come with AR-15s as well? You must be fucking high.
He has on the JFK Ray-Bans too, right? Like Jerome
Jerome.
for Congress,
The,
Arizona. That's
yeah.
probably the best campaign. Dude, he made well. It's very much like, yo, let's make a trailer in my backyard
Yeah.
at my house. It's one of
Yeah.
those, right?
Yeah. 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 It's a
But
30-second teaser.
you mean to tell me he couldn't do the hi, I'm Jerome Davison. I'm running for Congress. Hey, people tell me, he could have went with that type of ad,
Mm-hmm.
but instead he wanted to be truthful. His truths, Waldo, that one day that it is possible, or maybe it's on the horizon that these Klansmen from the
Yeah.
1800s, right, that walk through a portal. That is insane. Oh my goodness.
Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back.
Gotcha. Guys, this is a Hub 408, episode 152. Hope you guys are doing well. You are in the house with me, Ron Sara, and Ninja Iceberg. We're just hanging out with you guys today. Thank you guys for watching. You could be watching us on Twitch, could be watching us on YouTube, could be watching us on Facebook, wherever you happen to be watching us. What's up, Aki? How are you? Wherever you happen to be watching us, let us know in the comments too. So shout out to all the Twitch users out there, Kumu users also, YouTube, Facebook. If you happen to be watching us right now on multiple platforms, you can follow us on YouTube. All of our episodes are on there. The Elite X Kumu channel on YouTube. So go to Elite X Kumu. Just type in Elite X Kumu, and it'll come up on there too, as well. And please follow the Hub 408 if you have Facebook. Please follow our page. And yeah, pretty much that's it. What's up, Maggie? How are you? We're just talking about news, current events that's going on right now, the state of America that we're living in. You know what I mean? Actually, the state of the world also for me too. There's a lot of things that's, even though, yeah, Kumu's supposed to be a place of, not talking about politics and stuff like that, fun stuff, yeah. But we cover all that stuff because it affects our lives. It affects our lives here too. You know what I'm saying? So there's a whole, I mean, everywhere in the world right now, there's a lot of stuff going on right now that's just like, man, we are living in some really, really crazy times where, just like what I said earlier, Ninja, you kind of feel like you're regressing. You know what I'm saying? It kind of feels like you're regressing. Maggie's saying, "Chillin' OG, congratulations on your new single." Yo, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Yes. Check out my album coming out, produced by Buhai Cali. You know what I mean? But the single, I believe, comes out in a couple days. You know what I mean? We're going to release a video here on Kumu, too. So please follow us on Kumu. Get to see my other life, what I do in my other life. So I appreciate you, man. Yeah, that's what's up, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. But yeah, Ninja. We were talking about man, what was that the last thing we left on?
Jerome Davison. So yeah, so
Jerome
basically
Davis.
these are the people who are trying to run for office, who are trying to, like, be in charge of this country, and these are the people who are basically going, hey, 6 people in Highland Park are a small price to pay for you to have guns. 19 kids in Uvalde is a small price to pay for you to own guns. 10
It's like every
people
two
in
weeks,
Buffalo.
man.
10 people in Buffalo is the small price we pay for you to own guns, to own AR-15. And it's like, dude, that's
You,
the country we live in.
back in the day, whenever we would have a mass shooting, when one event would happen, it would be a national tragedy, right?
Yeah.
They would look at it as a national tragedy. This stuff is so frequent. Not only are we desensitized, I talked to earlier about it happening on a holiday, right, where you can't even whether you follow or celebrate that day or not. That's entirely up to you. But us growing up in a westernized world, we're meant to relax. Those are the days, man. Can we just relax on the 4th of July or on any other holiday? But instead, stuff happens, through this stuff. And me and Waldo were just talking about, the differences between, a traffic stop where a person doesn't do anything at all and he gets 90 rounds, towards him,
Hmm.
you know, and then you have a mass shooting where somebody kills 6 to 9 people with many other people injured, and not only that, uh, he gets away with it. And in a way, we talked about how, well, I don't want to say those words. He wins, but he got what he wanted. You know what I mean? He got what we wanted. That's the cold hard truth that I'm seeing. For me, like, damn, he kind of got. Not to say he got away with it, but like, yo, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
All these other shootings, these people go into it, they expect to die. But this person was like, hey, I'm gonna get up out of here. I did what I had to do. I'm gonna get up out of
Honestly,
here.
the goal is to cause as much damage as possible. The fact that you are able
Correct.
to kill that many people, it kind of doesn't matter what happens in the end. You get arrested, you get killed, you get away with it. That's not the point. The point is the damage. The point
But
is the
I,
killings.
but I love how you brought up the other point though, Waldo, of like maybe if that person wasn't around anymore, he wouldn't be you know talked about as much as how it is. Like, hey, he's out here. In some cases of these type of situations, the killer doesn't get remembered, or is rarely publicized. I guess, right?
Yeah.
They, you
Yeah.
know, to where I think with this is gonna, because it happened on a fucking holiday. They could
Hmm.
somebody could make a documentary about it where these families have to live this incident over and over and over again, just like
For
how
sure.
people relive either 9/11 or certain
Hmm.
bombings or whatever. They'll go and make a fucking documentary out of it. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
sad. It truly is sad. So, what up, Batang PX? How are you? I don't know if you're still here, but shout out to you. I appreciate you for coming through. Shout out to Mackie too. You know what I'm saying? He came through here, guys. This is episode 152. Me and Ninja just, shooting the shit, talking about this crazy world that we live in. Man, it's such an understatement too. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Such an understatement.
I mean, sure, there's a lot of other news going around in the world, but I mean, because we live in America, a lot of the stuff that we talk about is very much American centric, and the stuff that happens here, a lot of it gets talked about around the country, around the world. Like other countries have been condemning, like literally taking the time out of their proceedings to basically say, um, I think Ireland sanctioned the Supreme Court. Honestly, it doesn't mean anything, but basically because of the whole abortion thing, they're basically saying
Mm.
that you know the Supreme Court is basically trash.
I think, Waldo, remember how I said earlier how there was that one moment, the last couple of where I'm just like, holy fuck, man, we're going backwards. I think it was during the whole,
Yeah.
Roe versus Wade being overturned and stuff, right, or being
Hmm.
reversed, and I just think about, like, again, all the stuff that we got going on and how, I think we might have talked about it, but we're like, hey, we're probably not, after Biden doesn't have that much time left, right? He truly doesn't
Sure.
have that much time left. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think they're gonna get him out of here, and we're gonna be in the times of Republicans in control of, like, holding on to these things. And not only that, how do you say this? Like, I don't want to expect the worst. I don't want to expect the worst, so I'm not surprised
Hmm.
or I'm not disappointed, right?
Yeah.
As Mary Jane said in No Way Home, like, I don't want to, I don't want to play around with that, but at the same time, you kind of get that feeling, that sickening feeling of, like, oh man, these are truly the times that we're living in. You know what I mean? Shout out to my boy Jacob, but I used to always joke around with this one particular Mob Deep song. Me and Jacob are huge hip hop fans, but certain lines, you know, certain lines, and we would joke around in a sarcastic way of, "Hey, there's a war going on outside. No one is safe from it." Rest in peace to Prodigy. You know what I mean? But he would say this line at the beginning of his verse, and sometimes me and Jake would reference it, you know, or certain things like, oh, they talked about the end times in that song, or well, whatever it is, saying, hey, we're living in these end times and stuff like that. I've never felt that way so much in my life in these past 2 years, Ninja. We went through COVID.
Mm-hmm.
We went
Yeah.
through stuff
Yeah.
before that too, being in California too, right? Remember, we had fires that were messing up our
Mm-hmm.
our air quality and way of living. So we were already kind of masked up, and then all of a sudden COVID hit. People that we know and love passed because of this. Not only that, there was so many things going on during that time too. George Floyd just, got killed by
Mm-hmm.
that pig. You know,
Yeah.
people around the world, myself included, protested, went out to, to show like, hey, enough is enough. Not, I mean, it's weird to think about that too. It's weird to think about living through that. It's weird even thinking about living through COVID, and also the roles of our government and how that affected us, and things that I would have never thought I would see on my TV. Gentlemen that are supposed to act like gentlemen, right? And I
Sure.
think a lot of other countries can relate to this too. But I'm just saying, these men in position of power, act a certain way to where it's like, wow, dude, we are going backwards. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? And it seems that's what we're on. Like, holy fuck, man, we're gonna. I don't know. It was just it's crazy. It doesn't help too. I'm watching a lot of old ass sitcoms too, Ninja. So
Yeah.
I truly feel like I truly feel like I am going backwards when I should be watching some new sitcoms or something like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, it's just I never thought issues like this, right?
Mm.
I never thought issues like this would actually affect also me personally, my mental health.
Yeah.
Because there was a time when we are growing up, Ninja, unless you were already just in tuned to the world. But I wasn't. I clearly wasn't. You know what I mean? So for me, after 9/11, that's when I kind of woke up and paid attention to things.
Mm-hmm.
Things I would have never paid attention about, to where I can talk about these things with you as we're doing now. There's some people out there that just do not know what's going on at all, because
Yeah.
they're not in tune,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad that I was at least in tune and woke up in a way to where we could talk about these type of issues, these type of topics. What's up, Richard? How are you? Welcome to Kumu. I don't think you're here anymore, but welcome to Kumu. Thank you for joining us. Episode 152, guys, of the Hub 408. So, yeah, I don't know if you feel that way, Ninja, where, you know, maybe you were in tune ever since you were young, to the things going around you. But, like, does this stuff, the world, even though we try not to let it get to us, right?
Yeah.
Because we got our own shit going on, right? We got our own fucking
Mm-hmm.
shit going on. But I've never thought that we live in these times where, wow, it's cliche to say to like, hey, all these things do affect us,
Yeah.
in some type of way. And sometimes you want to be like, well, what's important to me? My family, my whoever. So that's what I'm gonna keep
Mm-hmm.
my
Your
focus
your
on.
immediate your immediate sphere
Yeah,
of influence. Yeah.
yeah. I want to keep my focus on my friends, my family, my loved ones, my kids, or
Mm-hmm.
whoever it is.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then for me, it's like, yo, the world is affecting me, so I don't know if you've had those same type of feelings or thoughts, Ninja.
Um. So obviously, when I was younger, when you're a kid, you don't really care about what's going on in the outside world. I think for me, going from high school to college, and then like my early to mid 20s, I think I was kind of more in a I didn't want to know that much, you know,
Mm,
kind of like forcing yourself into a bubble. I think, um, but as you meet as you grow up and you meet more and more people and you talk to people and get to know their story and you get to know what they're all about, you start to kind of like see more of what's happening. I don't know what the point was for me, but um, there's definitely a moment in time when you start to really understand how the world works, why this country is the way it is, why capitalism specifically is messing up this country, why it's all about the pursuit of money. Um, I'm gonna wait for Ron.
Go ahead, Ninja.
Yeah, so when you start realizing what is the general push of this country, right? What stems what probably is the biggest problem in our country is capitalism, is privatizing everything. It's all about money. Like there's a whole thing of like, obviously taking away a bunch of services and giving it to a private organization, a private entity. There's a lot of people trying to make government smaller instead of making it more efficient, making it help me. Because I'm paying money into the government, they should be helping me, right? And when you start to understand that, there are these people who are rigging the system against the common person, you start to really understand why this country is so fucked up. You know,
Mm.
you part of it is, yeah, this country keeps voting a certain way, but we have no choice, right? Because it is a two-party system. But because there's no, but unless we actually hold these people accountable by voting, um, they'll keep winning and they'll keep going in. Part of the problem, obviously, is they're rigging the system. So even if you say keep voting, there's only so much you can do, right? The when someone talks about how this state is super gerrymandered, what does that actually mean? It means that one party, when they were in control of the state legislature, they rigged the system so that their party will always be in power. So that's why you have these states um, that are super super red, like a Wisconsin or some shit like that,
Mm.
where the entire state legislature is Republican dominated, but they didn't win the majority of the votes, because it's gerrymandered. Because so then you have these governments where they put forth these laws that screw the citizens over. They're there to control a certain segment of the population. And you don't know that that's what's happening until it's too late. you know you have these states that had instant trigger laws when Roe v. Wade was overturned. Now 50% of the population is being controlled. So there was, yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't know where I started to see it, but it's not a surprise to me because a certain group of people is always trying to control another group of people. Um, and
Since the beginning of time.
right, and it's just now the people that are in charge are obviously the super wealthy. They're the ones who are getting all the benefits, and they don't really give a shit about your average American. You know, all the stuff that they're doing is stacking the decks for them, and and we keep letting it happen. You know, so I'm not surprised. It's something that I've seen and I have been seeing for a very long time. This has always been the goal. They don't hide it, right? Republicans, they don't hide what they're trying to do. They'll tell you exactly what they're trying to do. It's not a surprise. It's the it's
Yeah,
really
they do it. They do it right under our noses, pretty much, right? It's
yeah,
all the information is there. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? All the
Mhm.
information is there. Yep.
And then you have the Democrats who are more worried about how they look, how they come off, using their and talking about how we're not as bad as these guys. Vote for us, instead of actually giving us concrete, workable solutions. Their main campaign is to basically say, look, we're not this guy. We're not as bad as this guy. Look how bad that guy is. We're not as bad as him, so vote for us. And it's like, why? Why should we keep voting for you if you're not actually going to do anything? If you're going to say you're going to do something and then you don't do it, Roe v. Wade could have been codified during Obama's term, right? He had a supermajority. He could have codified it. He did not. And this is where we're at now.
Crazy.
You know?
Not well, and not just that, but a lot of things that, if there was evolution or progression,
Yeah.
is definitely rolled back now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a whole bunch. And again, these are the times that we're living in. You
Yeah.
know, that's why I think me and you know we do talk about the serious topics, but I think that's why me and Ninja talk about the other fucking topics, whether it's comic books,
Mm-hmm.
whether it's
Yeah.
the more
Yeah.
important issues, Ninja, to us, right?
Yeah.
Like
Mm-hmm.
care more about what's going on you know in Disney and Marvel or whatever than of course not. All I'm saying is I think having that balance of bringing you guys both sides, whether it's the fun stuff and the serious stuff. Me and Waldo, it's crazy the era, the times that we're living in. Uh, we're just on the cusp of change somehow, or maybe
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
you get what I'm saying, right? Like,
Well, I think part of it was the fact that after 2 terms of Obama, a lot of people were just angry that, um, well, how do I say this? I think a lot of racists were just angry, so they
yeah,
came out in
I'll
droves
say it.
and
Yeah,
decided. Yeah,
they were
a lot
mad
of
that
racists
a
came
black
out.
man was in,
Yeah, yeah,
probably first and last
basically,
time.
and
I
and they
honestly think
voted
it's a first and last time.
probably, and so they came out in droves and decided to say fuck that. We're taking our country back. Think about what they're saying. Taking our country back. What do they actually mean by that? It's a bunch of white people saying that our country is being decimated and we need to take it back from all these other people who don't deserve to have it. You know?
People that look like you, Ninja,
Yep.
people that look
Yep.
like me,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? They want to take it back from us, the very little things that we have that we
Yeah.
like to call America or whatever it is. They
Yeah.
want that.
Yeah.
They want your American dream. They
Yeah.
don't want you to
What
have
is
this
right?
piece of the pie.
What does that even mean? Obviously, when Trump came into office, you're kind of like, oh, he's gonna do good for us. What did he do? He didn't actually do anything. He actually like. So here's the thing, right? What the things that he actually did weren't helpful, right? And it was actually hurtful to a lot of people.
Very hurtful.
The Muslim ban and all that kind of stuff. The people that he put into Supreme Court, you know, he can say that I've been very helpful. I'm saving lives, yada yada yada. But in the grand scheme of things, in terms of like foreign policy and what he actually did, he didn't really do anything. He didn't really do anything that
Nope.
changed the world, right?
And I
What
don't
did he,
because
what did he?
I don't think the other world leaders were fucking with him. Correct?
Yeah,
They're like,
exactly.
dude,
Yeah,
this dude,
hmm
we don't want nothing to do with him. And
yeah,
I think because Putin also had that very much um, God, I had a word for it. Polarizing, right? Two
hmm
polarizing individuals.
yeah,
Th- Those guys will find each other.
Mhm.
polarizing individuals will find each other.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I mean? And those are the people that they'll they'll gravitate towards or whatever. And that's all he
Mhm.
had. He didn't have no support from any other world leaders. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So yeah.
And but that's the thing, right? Like what did he actually give you? He actually gave you, well, sorry. He gave a certain segment of the population an outlet, a vent for what they were feeling. They didn't really know how to put it into words. They didn't really understand what they were feeling. But they had someone here telling them, this is, you're feeling this because of this, right? You don't have enough money to pay for food. It's because of the Mexicans. Your shit is getting jacked. It's because of black people. Your friend is your family is sick and dying. It's because of Asian people. You know, he didn't offer anything except people to blame. You know, so that's kind of what happened. He had a message of that he had a message of that for some people it was very easy to follow. You know, instead of
Mhm.
like thinking about the nuance and thinking about how the world is connected to each other, he just gave you people to blame for certain things, and it's easy. You don't have to blame anyone, but you don't have to blame yourself. You can just blame other people. You know, I don't have a good job. It's not because I'm not good. It's because that person's taken my job. You know, it's like what? How? Right?
I will
The
say, I will say though, real quick, Ninja, that um, the former president's level of commitment to his beliefs of complete complete lies or just non-truth, like, oh, I'm gonna take it to the grave, like I will keep saying this until the day I die,
sure.
or believe in it, you
Hmm.
know I don't mean to say I commend him for it, but like, but holy fuck. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
you're out of here and you're still
Hmm.
running with certain rhetoric that's like, it should
Yeah.
be out of here. You know what I mean? That should be out of here. What's up,
What's up?
Jay? How are you?
So
What's up?
Sorry, Jay. We were talking about the very good.
The
We're
what?
talking we're talking about, no, just the way of the world right now.
Oh,
We're very serious topic. We're talking about just all the bullshit that's going on right now and how we live in these weird times of like, you kind of feel like we're going backwards, and just with everything, whether it could be the mass shootings. We talked a little bit about the mass shootings. We talked a little bit of Roe versus Wade. We talked a little bit about just things that like just recently, though, just right now, we were talking about how we're on the cusp of change, maybe. Even though the Obama administration wasn't 100% great, there were certain things to where you had those beliefs of, hey, times are changing, maybe for the better. But because we went through a Trump administration and all that stuff, like, and all this that's going on right now, we feel like, damn, we truly are. Well, I said for myself, like, damn, truly are going backwards. What the fuck is going on? You
mhm.
know what I mean? I just had that moment of, you know, and then well, I have a hot take on that though too. But I mean, you get what I'm saying though, Jay, right? Of
yeah,
like,
yeah.
you think you're on the cusp of change and things, So I mean, just a quick comment from you, and I got a hot take after that, Jay.
I, for me personally, I thought it never changed at all.
Yeah, there's that belief also.
Never
It's
changed.
always been here, right?
It's
It's always been here. Things are
and
put in place.
it never changed. It's the way I see it. It's more uh, generational grown hate. Like it's been passed down
Correct.
from generation to generation. It's never gonna stop. You know, that's the sad part. People never change. But the way I look at it is what it is. We can't do nothing about it, whether we vote or not, because when we vote for other people, they have their own certain agendas. It's like, and then the stuff that they promise never gets done anyway. So, it's. This is a land of, I guess you could say, opportunity and false promises.
Here's my hot take. You think all this stuff happened in the world just so we can get 4 championships with the Golden State Warriors? Because we lived through some dark times being a Warriors fan. And all of a sudden, when we win that, the first one that we were able to experience for ourselves, we're like, holy shit, dude, this is really fucking happening. To where a couple of weeks ago, we're talking about, oh, yeah, the fourth one was different. You know what I mean? Like, the fourth one was different. So I'm just saying, dude, what if we never won, right? What if we never won, but yet the world was fucking okay?
The,
You know?
yeah, and I get that. Like the fourth one is more of, what else do we need to prove? It's like we
Correct.
shown that we could do it. We shown we could do it with with the team that at first.
There you
Exactly.
go.
That's what I'm saying. At first, it was like
The fourth one was different.
because it's like
Oh,
like
man.
like 2 years ago they were the worst team in the league, pretty much you could say that, right? And then to not making the play-in or not making the playoffs because of the loss in the play-in to being world champs. So it's like a lot of people didn't expect that to happen. I'm like, I don't care. I've seen 3, now I've seen 4. To the point where you thought we were never going to see any. So, it's
Hold on real quick. What if we're all hanging out, right? What if we're all hanging out? Then a man from the future comes, right? Right? A man from the future comes through a portal and talks to us. He goes, hey, Roe versus Wade, these mass shootings, this president, whatever. We'll reverse all that, but you got to give back the championships. And you got to help me. You got to help me. We got to go through a time heist. What do you do, Ninja? Do you give up the ring?
Yes, because I've seen it personally.
Ah, okay. Jay, would you?
I've already experienced it.
well, my thing is if we change, do we lose the memory?
What? Say that again.
If we do the changes, do we lose the memory?
Ooh.
Oh,
That's my contemplation. Is I know how the way they explain time travel in the MCU is different because everything else in the movies is bullshit. Right? They explain that, but then it's like, is it really like that, or like if we change stuff, does everything get altered and we don't remember?
No, let's
so
say.
so it's like Back to the Future.
Or like
Let's say only we know, and if we were to tell people, like, dude, I lived in a world, like, you're high, Ron. You know what I mean? Jason, did you smoke with Ron? You know what I mean? Like, they'd be like, dude, what are you guys talking about? So maybe we get to live with the memory, Jason. I'll just say that.
okay,
We get to live with the memory.
I'm all for it. I got to see it.
But you end up being a crazy But you end up being a crazy guy. Like,
I
dude.
don't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it.
Why would I talk about it?
The only people I get to talk about is with you guys, so it's fine.
Yeah, fine.
I got to see it.
Yeah.
All my friends
and we got to do a time heist.
To see, and in return though, we get to see these guys almost win and not win. Like them get, or maybe get to maybe the way they'll turn out, like they do meet OKC before Durant left, and they get beat by OKC. All those times that they won, they were almost there. Like, dude, these guys always get there, but they fucking lose.
Like the Sharks.
Yeah,
and people wouldn't be praising Curry as, dude, he's not a top 10 player. He's not even top 50. They'd be saying that time. So you'd go back and give up all those 4 rings that we experienced for a better world.
For a better world and a time heist. You said time heist.
Yeah.
Yes. I would go on a fucking adventure.
Yes.
I would go on an adventure to do a time heist. Well, who would not? Heist movies are like one of my favorite
What are we
genres.
if we're gonna do time heist? What are we gonna steal?
I don't know.
The champions. The champions.
Yeah, like we would literally have to go. I don't know why, but this guy for some reason chose us and said, "Hey, you guys have to do this with me so we can reverse some of the things that's going to happen. You know what I mean? And I think in return, I think maybe Trump doesn't get isn't president. Maybe we could start with that because then you wouldn't have had all the hate that was out there that turned into
Yeah, it's
all
true.
this
It would have been
malicious stuff, right?
it would have been it would have still been underground. Yeah, instead of overt. Like
Yeah,
he got brave.
mainstream. It wouldn't be as
Yeah,
mainstream.
it wouldn't be mainstream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where can you believe racism got to be popular like that?
Yeah.
Like it was popular to be
like
it's
that.
popular.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
It's popular to be racist. I would have never
Like
thought that. I thought that's
like
something you
racist.
just hide. Or
It
just
was
pretend.
it was always there. Exactly. It was always there.
Yeah, it's always there.
But now they're saying the quiet part out loud, right? That's the whole thing. That's the game. They gave it away.
Norm Macdonald, the late great Norm Macdonald, had a joke where I think he was making fun of some politician, being like, "Oh, I hate the gays and all that stuff." And he's like, well, "You might feel that way, but just pretend you don't, so people get with your, you know what I mean, with your agenda. You know what I mean? You don't have to spew that type of hate. You might feel that way, but you don't have to spew that out there. But then,
Yeah.
again, if you have it
keep
in
it
you,
under your hat. Yeah.
but then again, if you have it in you, and the hate is full, right? It's over the brim, right? It's over. It's going to spill out. I think that's why these people are able to be this way, especially the Asians before. I couldn't believe back in the day. I'm just saying I grew up in a different time where it's like, I'm sorry, folks, we're scared of teenagers or people in their 20s like that look like us three right here. It would not fuck with us. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's why I have the spirit. I think I have the spirit that, oh shit, I've been waiting for this, Ninja. Oh shit, you get to be openly racist and I get to potentially fuck you up right now? You know what I mean? It's like it's like, dude, we're built for that. I know for myself, I was definitely built for that. That's one of those lessons that my dad would be like, yo, don't, I don't mean to be that guy, but my dad would be like, yo, don't let these white folks punk you. You know what I'm saying? Don't let, and he always had that about him. So as I grew up, and even just as recent as a couple years ago, have asked my friends like, hey, and I think I've talked about it here on the hub before, but I've been like, hey, I have feelings towards a certain group of people. Am I wrong in my feelings? And when I talk about this, some people are, oh yeah, well, you shouldn't have hate in your heart. You shouldn't, but I'm a realist. I'm going by history. I'm going by history. I'm going by the ignorance that some of these folks display.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, but like, there's a saying, right? Well, not really a saying, but like, they would rather be white than other things, even though they want to be other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, that gay stuff, that's all good until it comes to being white. They would rather be that. You know what I mean? Because of the privileges and the things that they have access to because of that. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm saying.
Things they don't have to worry about. Yeah.
Correct. So I remember a couple of years ago, I think this is during pandemic when, sometimes things just show up on your Facebook feed. All of a sudden, something on the south side started happening right around the corner from my house. This white man is out here challenging any person of color to fight. Like, I am out here. I am in front of the CVS next to the pet club store or whatever, the pet food store. And he was trying to fight, Jason. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, wow, dude, this is where we're at now? Where, hey, I want people of color to come up here. You know what I mean? We're going to fight. You know what I mean? And I'm just like, oh, dude, I hope some essays or somebody sees that. It's like, yo, let's roll up there. You know what I mean? If you want to spit that hate, and we'll take care of it. But I'm just saying it's weird how we live in that to where even though we might see or feel like that's always tucked in your back pocket of like, I don't have to worry about that stuff. to now where it's like, holy shit, I can't even go jogging outside. I might be at the corner resting, and all of a sudden I get hit from behind or something like that, or our mothers, not like our, but first of all, none of our mothers are out walking on the street. Okay,
No.
that's just facts. But I'm just saying it's unfortunate for certain folks that's out there. They could just be walking to their car actually, coming back from Starbucks and get robbed. You know what I'm saying? And it's weird because it sucks that it's people of color. People don't talk about that though, but it's the people of color that's doing that. It's like how did it get here? You know what I'm saying? To where like we actually got to talk about stop Asian hate. That's crazy. So yeah, I would give up all 4 rings for that stuff to go away. You know what I'm saying? And to be a crazy guy, but like, dude, I seen fucking Curry. I seen Clay come back from an injury, and then Clay be like, I did not come back from an injury. I'm like, nah, dude, I seen you. I seen you be out for like almost 2 years, dude. You feel me? Like I seen you, dude, when you came back and dunked on the entire, Cavs organization, and you had that snarl on your face. It's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, I would give up all 4 rings too. But also because Ninja said, "Hey, we're going on a time heist, or we get to time travel." So yeah.
Why would you not go with that option?
Yeah.
I don't understand this.
That know what? I think how it would work too is when we go back in time, we would have to see all those events in real life. So like the Warriors winning, like we would have to go there and actually see them lose. Like, shit, you know what I mean? Like we gotta like witness them losing.
This is my gripe. So if they end up losing, then this makes LeBron being the greatest player of all time.
I don't really care about that. We get to go on a time heist.
But what are we stealing? That's the thing. Is like, what are we stealing?
We're stealing championships. We're stealing ships, dude.
No, but we're correcting the world. You know what I mean?
I know, but if there's a time heist involved, what are we taking?
We're going back in time and stealing time.
We're literally stealing the championships away from the Warriors.
Right, yes,
that is
correct.
That's easy.
That is what we're stealing.
All we have to do is go all the way back to where the Warriors drafted Steph Curry and change the ball to something else.
No, I mean they would still have the drafts and whoever but the hurt of having to go to that game. Remember when Steph Curry hit that fucking 3 and bang, all that stuff, right? Remember that game with OKC? Like we'd have to go to that game, witness them lose. We'd have to go the next year when they reach the finals with LeBron and
the thing is, we have to make them lose.
Yeah,
that's the point. But how are we going to do that?
But we would have to be present for it to correct.
We got to do. We got a Nancy Kerrigan someone in the back of the leg. Is that what it is?
No, it would just be
just
our presence being there. Our presence being there. We're not over here like.
Then we're not stealing anything. We're not stealing anything.
We're seeing them lose. We're seeing them lose.
We're not stealing anything. I want to steal something. If we're gonna do time heist, we better steal something.
No, we're stealing something. We're stealing something. We are stealing something. We're not stealing. We are not stealing an object. We are not stealing an object.
That's the premise of this whole thing, though. Of dude.
Then no time heist.
So you don't. So you would. You would want the world the way the world is right now.
No, all I'm saying is you can't time heist with your presence being there.
This guy from the future comes in a portal. He says, "Hey, would you give this all up? You have to come with me and watch these guys lose." That's exactly the premise.
Yeah, but that's not a time heist.
Dude, you're going back in time and you're taking the time that they played in our real world. You're taking that away from them.
But I'm just saying I know he's coming back from the future, but how is our presence changing the
details to be determined by the time guy?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. There's no meat to it. We're just gonna show up and they lose. There's got to be something that we got to do.
Because that's a hurt we have to go through of them. Fucking,
Yeah,
we gotta watch them lose.
The hurt is altering the past to change the future. Like we have to do something physically to alter the past.
Probably, yes. We probably have to do something.
Okay,
that's what I'm saying.
I don't know. Steal a fucking
what
book.
that would be.
I was trying to make it as simple as I fucking could. I'm just saying, go steal a book if you want to go there. I don't know.
Time heist don't make sense to me when it's that aspect of, oh, we're stealing because our presence is there. That doesn't make sense.
We're fighting
I'm just
over
thinking
a
logically.
machine, by the way.
We're
fighting over a time machine.
Yeah.
We're fighting over a time machine.
We are.
We're fighting over a time machine.
I'm trying to
make it as simple as possible.
I'm trying to be Spock here and make it logical.
You're one of those fans that want to make it. Oh well, you know what I'm saying? Dude, it's the time travel doesn't make sense. I'm like, dude, I'm just trying to make it simple. I know it's a dumb premise. I already said some man from the future that we don't know says, hey, the world will change. Roe versus Wade will be, like the Capitol was never stormed, or what's the name? So, all that stuff.
We'll do it like this: David Lee never gets hurt, and Draymond never emerges.
And you're doing all these technicalities.
You're getting way too into the weeds, bro. You're getting way too into the weeds. The details don't matter, dude.
It's about going with this fucking man that we don't know, George Carlin, or I don't know who this fucking guy is, right? Yeah. And he says, "Hey, come with me. Your presence is all that's needed." That's
X
all.
happens.
Question mark, Jason. We are
question mark, and then we come back to the president. The world's changed.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I'm gonna steal thing, I'm gonna Nancy Kerrigan someone in the back of the leg.
Yeah. Okay. You could do that.
You wouldn't even do that in real life.
That's what I'm saying. If it's for the greater good, I'll fucking do
it. Okay. If that is part of what we have to do, I would do that too. But here's the thing. We're getting into the weeds. It's question mark. It's step 3, question mark. Okay? There's no details. I'm not going to come up with the detail of what we need to do exactly to fucking turn the fucking world into a completely opposite thing. All right? I'm not going to write a spec right now, a script for this, okay? We're not doing that.
I'm just saying if this fucking old fuck came through a portal and was like, hey, in order to better the world, come with me and witness these events. That's all he's asking you. He's not asking you to hurt anybody. He's just saying, come with me to witness these events where this team loses. It's not about, they should have never drafted fucking Steph Curry, all that stuff. No, all that stuff will go. It's just we get to see the hurt of like, oh, man, they have a good team, but they lose.
Then we'd be in an alternate timeline. Like that's what I'm trying to comprehend. Is like,
of course, because he says, "Hey, correct all this stuff."
How do they lose though?
We're leaving our timeline. We're leaving our timeline if we're saying, "Hey, if you want this thing corrected, to where all these things don't happen, you know what I mean? Come with me." So when you go with him, of course, it's going to go in a different way. It's branching off from what we let.
Yeah, because we got to change something. You just can't leave it alone and witness it. Something has to happen. That's what I'm saying. Is something has to happen.
Something happens. Sure.
We just show up and it it doesn't happen. It's like,
and the thing that happened is the things that fucking we're changing.
I know. Yeah, we have to alter the past.
Basically, if we go to those games, fucking January 6th doesn't happen.
That's what I'm saying. If we go to the games and we have to alter the game somehow.
We don't have to alter nothing. We're just there, and they fucking lose. We just watch them lose.
I don't see that happening.
Okay. You mean to tell me that the Warriors versus OKC during that thing, let's just say they fucking happened to not make any of those shots. They could have lost, correct?
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. We're there presently watching that happening.
Yeah, but something has to happen. That's what I'm saying.
What has to happen? You have to jump on the fucking court?
No. Okay. No. Something happens.
Christ, I'm just saying we witness it. We witness them lose instead of...
Something happens.
Because we're going back.
Something happens.
Okay, this is because if we're going back
Jason,
on our timeline,
Jason,
nothing changes unless something we alter.
Stop. Jason, something happens. Something does happen.
Yeah.
Okay? That's it. Something does happen. But we're not going into the details of what happens.
That's what I'm saying, because if we just go back in our timeline, we're witnessing what? But nothing alters. It's like something has to be done to alter
something
that.
happens.
Yeah,
something happens. Yeah, okay.
We just can't go back in our presence alters the thing because we didn't do anything.
Yes, something happens.
Yeah,
something happens.
That's what I'm saying.
That's it.
It's like our presence doesn't make a difference if we're going back on our same timeline.
The guy says...
Untrue. It might.
The guy comes from the future and he says, hey...
And he knows. Yeah, and he knows that our presence changes something.
Correct. That's all I'm asking. I'm not saying we gotta hurt somebody, Nancy Kerrigan, somebody jump on the fucking court. I'm just saying the guy says, hey, if you want these things to not happen, come with me, witness these things, and then that's it. Your world or whatever is changed. All this stuff doesn't happen. We're not stealing nothing. We're not physically doing nothing. We just have to be there with this fucking man. You get what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But all I'm saying is if we're like if we say we're going back in time, it's on the same timeline. Nothing changes. That's what I'm getting at.
I don't know what the fuck that means, dude. Real talk. I don't know what the fuck you're saying right now, bro. I don't know if you can understand what I'm saying.
I know I understand what you're saying. It's just that I'm saying is, yeah, we go back with this guy, our presence is there, whatnot. But if we're going on the same timeline, something has to alter. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. It's like our presence just can't,
All right. I don't know.
All right, we're moving on. Let's move on.
I'm just making an argument.
You're getting into the weeds. You're getting into the weeds. Yeah, you're getting into the weeds. This is all magic. You can't see the timeline changing, but you can see that some guy from the future says, hey, we need to go back in time. That part is plausible, but the changing of the timelines is not plausible.
We're arguing about a time machine.
Let's move.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Let's we're getting past it. We're getting past it. This is...
Oh my God.
We've gone too far and too long.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Are we going to witness him?
You don't get it. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you don't get it.
I do get it.
You don't, dude.
I do. But what are we we're witnessing someone because if
lose. We're watching them lose.
Yeah, so but something has to happen for them to lose.
Yeah, they don't make their shots. They fucking foul out. They fucking whatever it is. They're like, oh, this didn't happen. That's what I'm saying happens in order for them to lose. Like, oh, he fouled out, or
but
what's his name? Gets the shot.
Something has to change within that time. That part of the time. If we go back in time, something has to change. Like something has to alter that to the point where they miss a shot, or they get fouled out. That's what I'm saying.
It just so happens to be in our timeline that we're living in now.
Yeah.
Right? Wait, hold on. You're not letting me finish, bro. Yeah. I'm just saying the timeline that we happen to... They made those shots.
Yeah.
They made those shots. So when we go back in the past, they don't make those shots. They foul out. They do whatever. It doesn't go the way that we watched it on YouTube right now. It doesn't go that way. Because of our presence being there, it goes a different way. That's all I'm saying. As basic and as simple as that. Not like, oh, we got to do something or something has to happen. No, just us being there. That's all. And in a way, we are stealing because we're there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's all it is.
That part
logically
doesn't make sense in my mind. That's why.
What we're talking, the question and the premise in the beginning didn't even.
I'm just saying.
You don't know how to have fun. That's
in my head, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah, because you're one of those fans that like to dissect fucking.
Yeah. I mean, if we're witnessing this dude alter the past, then yeah, that makes sense to me. Like
you're one of those dudes you're one of those dudes that can really explain the Terminator 2 timeline.
That it's like it's
Ninja.
It's
he's
like,
one of those fucking guys.
Star Trek fucked me over, man. That's all I'm saying.
You're one of those guys that explained to me the X-Men timeline.
Yes.
Fucking crazy. Oh my god. This is the hub, episode 152. Where we're arguing about the time machine.
152.
Yeah. Hella nerdy ass shit.
Look at that. Ninja got so mad he's over the time machine. You want to talk-
Yeah, no, I'm done with it. I'm done. It's magic. It's all magic. It doesn't matter. It's all
Yeah.
magic.
Yeah, you just watched the fucking movie about fucking magic and fucking bullshit. You know what I'm
did.
saying? Like, yeah, believe in it. I'm just saying, believe in this old white man. Okay, he doesn't even have to be an old white man. He could be fucking, what's his name? The dead guy from Friday. The dad. You love that guy. Craig's dad. It could be Craig's dad. He comes from the fucking the future or the past or whatever, and he goes, "Hey,
In this
come
dog
with me." Yeah, he goes, "Hey, come with me. You don't want all this stuff to happen. Watch this game with me courtside." Because we weren't there. We weren't there when those shots happened. That's why it changed. Because we weren't there. You get what I'm saying? If we were there,
The guy calculated the best probability of them losing and everything winning, and he
It had
came
to
up
be
with the
with
fact that
us.
it had to be us, and it
what's
just
that
so
actor's name,
happens that
Jason?
Is it?
because of the way we breathe, it
See, now I have to look
harmonizes
him up.
with the air a certain way, where it throws off the shot just slightly.
Right.
It doesn't make
Right.
it doesn't make it in, and the fact that when we go back in time, I happen to be wearing a very bright colored shirt, just in the exact sight line that Steph Curry would be watching me as he's shooting. And I move in just a certain way that it distracts him just enough that he misses a bunch of crucial shots. Okay, that's how it happens. That's why it was us and only us, because we are the exact dimensions that was needed to throw off the Warriors just enough that they lose, which causes a chain reaction where
Yes.
Trump loses, and
That's as
the
clear
entire
as day
thing
right
that we're
there.
going through
Yes.
right now is changed.
Correct.
That
hat,
is what
that ninja has would
that is what
magically
we're talking about.
disappear, right?
Yeah, but we remember doing it.
Correct.
But we remember doing it.
Kind of like when Wolverine woke up in the mansion, and all of a sudden the people that were dead were alive, and then he goes to Professor X and he goes, I don't know how I got here, and then Professor X goes, "Welcome back. Tell me what you know."
Because they did something.
Yeah, their presence was there, but we don't have to do. Dude,
I already explained it.
I know. I'm just
Our
saying.
presence.
we can rewind this. Yes.
Literally changed the course of history.
That'd be so hard. Well, for me, just knowing that I would have to watch those games and be like, oh shit, ew, he made that in our timeline, right? Like we'd be like, oh dude, you fucking. I would screen record or no. What if you were to screen record the footage? You know what I mean? And then you go back in the future and you're watching it as it happens. I don't know if that would work out. It would actually be disappearing right before your eyes, right? The video, right? Crazy. But yeah, I would yeah, that'd be so heartbreaking. Like, well, actually, you know how, you talk. Well, I wouldn't care if LeBron was the man. You know, I think it would have been it might have been the rise of KD in a non-polarizing way. That, dude, what if KD's career? What if he wouldn't be as hated as he is right now? He wouldn't be as polarizing and stuff, right? What if he would have won with Russ?
Well, he would have stayed on Oklahoma. Oh, that would have been interesting.
Who I was rooting against too. I mean, I remember I've been a Durant. I love those guys. I love those guys, right? I was just like, I was like, hey, that's my team. So like that would have gone way different. I just don't know though if KD would have maybe KD would have took the reins from LeBron sooner. You think so? Maybe.
Maybe.
Him and LeBron. I saw this one crazy stat yesterday, Jason, where it said like him and LeBron are the only two in NBA history to be like on four teams to score this many points, to have this many championships, and all this stuff, right? And first of all, uh, we got about 30 minutes left here. Shout out to you guys out there if you guys happen to be watching us, nerding out with us. But I was gonna say, guys, a lot of crazy stuff happening in the NBA right now. All these
Hold on.
moves.
Before we go right to that, I kind of want to
Yeah,
show.
what's up? Are you
I
going to
kinda
show
wanna
Jason
touch
the?
on the. No, I kind of want to touch on the Shinzo Abe thing.
Oh,
Ex
that was
Prime
crazy.
Minister of Japan getting shot. Here's what I find freaking like wild, right? Not the fact that he got assassinated. Look at this dude's gun. It's a
Homemade?
homemade shotgun.
Yep.
Yeah. Look at this thing, right? Look at that.
Can you zoom in on the murder weapon?
I don't think so. It's on
Yeah, zoom
Twitter.
in on it.
Yeah. So he has like this homemade shotgun that he basically built. This some kind of black powder thing. He also look at the other weapon that he had. Look at this thing.
That's a gun
That's
from
crazy. That's a Fallout gun, Jay?
That is that is straight up some Fallout shit, dude. This guy.
Wait, do all the
was
barrels
angry.
fire?
Yeah.
It's supposed to.
No fucking
Yeah.
way.
Yeah, the
dude.
way it looks like it's like it's a one discharge weapon.
It's
Oh
one
my
trigger
God.
that shoots out of 9 barrels. Homemade. This dude made
Oh shit.
It looks like a claymore gun, right?
guns. It's called a electric trigger volley. Here you go. Electric ignition black powder volley gun.
There has to be a simple use.
I think it is. But that's crazy. This dude
That's
literally
a crazy looking gun. And that
This
gun
dude
right there
literally
looks
built-
crazy right there.
Yeah, he literally built 2 guns.
He's like, no, I'm just
To
this
take
is my
out-
shopping cart, right? He's like, no, I'm just on my bike. I'm just
This guy.
He's the Japanese MacGyver.
How crazy is that? I just wanted to get this out there because I'm like, okay,
I
Shinzo
believe
Abe
he
is
served
kind
in
of
the military too, right? He served in the Japanese military.
he's
too.
a military. Yeah, he was a Marine Marine Defense Force or some shit like that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Every knowledge
He's
to
like a
construct weapons.
He's like a 40-year-old ex-officer in the Self-Defense Force or Japan Defense Force or something like that.
Did they find a motive yet?
I think it was something to do with it was not a political thing. It seemed to have been like related to religion somehow. Like his mom got swindled by some religion and he was angry. But I don't know if Shinzo Abe was involved with that religion. And he might have just been angry. But it was not a political murder. So
so this is a not to say random, but there really was no. He just wanted to get eyes on him. It could have been anybody.
maybe.
Ugh.
I don't know how. I'm not sure how it involves him currently. But it wasn't because of his politics. It was not. I don't like Shinzo Abe because of what he did, and as prime minister. It wasn't something weird. Like it wasn't something like that. It was something else that made this guy angry. Anyways, I wanted to get that out there because that shit was wild. When I saw those weapons, I was just like, holy fuck, dude. This guy is...
No footage actually is out there of the actual shooting, is there?
There is some footage. but all you can really see is like the black powder smoke from the gun after he shoots it.
You don't see the actual shooting.
So I don't think so. I've seen parts of it, but I didn't really look into it because I'm not, I'm going to be like, ooh, let me see this guy get, murked. I'm not that kind of a guy. So I didn't personally like look at like all the video. The only video that I saw was as they were panning over. You just see you hear the gunshot and you see all the smoke. And then you see him kind of like collapse. So that's what I saw. I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, just wanted to get that out there. Just wanted to talk about that.
When you just said right now, I'm not one of those guys that watches stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not to say I'm that guy too, right? But when I do come across that stuff and I happen to click, I'm like, oh, I'll fucking click on it. I'll watch it. I don't know if you guys are that way, but
yeah,
it humanizes humans, I guess, for me, of like, oh shit, that's how your body look like after it gets, you know what I mean? And sometimes you don't want to hear certain things, but then when you hear it, you're like, oh shit, okay, that was a little too much, you know, like, for example, I remember when people were jumping off the towers because it was too hot, right? Fire, I'm not over here trying to watch every single video and trying to watch them land, but I watched that shit because I was just like, oh, that's tough.
Yeah.
But then say something like where rest in peace to Nipsey Hussle, but there was reports of like after he got shot, like the guy kicked him in the head. You know what I mean? Just whatever, disrespect it. It's like, oh, I hope that's not on tape. I would not want to see that. It's on tape. You know what I mean? And I didn't watch that, but because just hearing or reading about the guy kicking him in the head after, like, ugh, I don't think I could watch that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though it's a crime. It's crimes happen everywhere. It just so happened to happen to one of the most famous fucking people, in LA. It's just certain things though. It's just like ugh. So certain things I can watch, certain things I can't. But like, shit, I will.
Yeah.
So it's weird how it. Like I don't know if you guys know the very famous thing. Is it Bud Dwyer? I believe that's his name. During a press conference, puts a pistol in his mouth and kills himself on camera.
Yeah. I've watched it. Yeah.
Okay, where he goes, hey, I don't want anybody to get hurt. He says a certain way, and and people have. That's a pop culture thing. People have, made songs.
It was
about
on live TV. Yeah, that was on live TV. But I also watched the video of the reporter being shot on live TV. Like, I don't know if you remember. It was a couple of years ago. This reporter, she was doing a thing, a live feed, and someone came up and shot her. I don't remember why, but yeah, I watched that. I mean, I don't go out of my way to watch it, right? Like, if I happen to be scrolling through and something pops up, I'll watch just to see what's happening, just so I know what happened and I can talk about it, But in this case, it doesn't really matter. The guy went up to him and shot him. Basically, it was like a Reagan situation, Ronald Reagan when he was getting shot.
And I've watched that so many times, and I think I like that one because he survived. So in my sick mind,
he shouldn't have though.
Your opinion, right? But I'm just saying,
dude. You know how much of the issues that we're living through right now are a direct result of his policies.
Dude, my dad was the biggest. I mean, hence Ron. He thought Ron Jr. was gonna fucking run for president, so he was like, "Hey, I'll name him after Ron."
And have the complete opposite policies.
Yeah, he wanted a party. He didn't fucking give. He was like, "Be the president? No, I want to be a normal party going citizen." You know what I mean?
But he fucked it up and fucked up America.
Correct.
Anyway, Shinzo Abe. The guy thought he was connected to a religious group that
Dang, that sucks.
defrauded his mom. Yeah.
That's
So,
like, oh, you're part of the Golden Catholic Society. I'm gonna
some
kill
shit.
you. You know what I mean?
I'm
And then and then he's not. He's like, I never was. Right?
Yeah.
That's unfortunate. I don't mean to laugh, but very unfortunate. See, look,
Well,
look
I
how
mean,
desensitized we are. We talk
well,
about mass
so here's the
shootings.
thing. Here's the thing.
Talk about
Abe was not a good person, so fuck him. It doesn't matter, you know. It's fine. You can be desensitized about
he
this
said
guy.
it. He said it.
He's fine. Yeah, dude. The guy was very pro like Japan, World War II Japan. Like he's basically like, well, we did nothing
Oh,
wrong.
oh.
So yeah, he's
My
that
grand,
kind
my
of guy.
grand. Okay, well, my grandfather fought against his.
His
You know what I
like
mean?
uncle or
Yes,
some shit like that. Yeah.
yes. So
Yeah.
okay,
No, he's not a good
fuck
guy.
that guy.
You should,
Yeah,
yeah, fuck that
fuck
guy.
that guy.
Exactly.
Well, in that case, maybe I can praise this man that we should have praised killers. We should have praised killers, but you know what? I gave first of all, Jason. You said it was a Fallout gun, right? Like Fallout 76. It looked like Fallout 76, right?
I mean, it could be. That's another game.
New Vegas, right? It was
You
like
can
a
make-
New Vegas gun.
It's like you can make weapons. It's hella crazy.
Yeah, I think that was more New Vegas gun than instead of the Fallout 76, right?
But
Had a
either
little
way, pretty
steampunk to it,
amazing.
right? Had a little steampunk to it, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The electric ignition black powder volley gun, I believe, was one of the weapons that they took from his house. Like he brought the double barrel shotgun thing to
That's
the
crazy.
crime, and they went to his house, and apparently he had like a shit ton more guns that he made. One of them being that wild ass 9-barreled weapon.
Dang, imagine who. Well, I don't know. Why did he use that one?
Maybe it was too big, because the other one was kind of small. It was like a
It is an arm
sawed-off
cannon,
shotgun.
right? Yeah,
Yeah,
it is an
because
arm
the other
cannon.
one's kind of like a sawed off. Yeah, it looked pretty small, whereas this one looks much bigger.
But even the sawed off looked kind of badass too. I'm not gonna lie, like
Yeah.
it looked kind of like for it looking janky, like you're like, dude,
Yeah.
that's a functioning gun. That actually looks pretty
Yeah.
cool. You know what I
I
mean?
like how he used hella black duct tape. Or was that?
Yeah,
duct
right,
tape?
Exactly.
right, Jay?
And,
Right?
and,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
had, and I think, yeah, and he wrapped it around like a piece of wood or something like that. It looked super crazy. Yeah.
He should have used black athletic tape, right? That would have been cooler, right?
It would have fell
Soft.
apart. It would have fell apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you keep wrapping it, maybe. Oh yeah, you have to use black duct tape actually.
It would have.
And
It would have killed him too. That would have been hella. That would have been hella.
I
Or
think part of the-
maybe wrap around. I don't know.
because I think it was more like electrical tape. I think is what he
Ah.
used. Is what it looked like. Yeah, if he went with that stuff, it would have been matte. I think it would have hit better. But because it was glossy, you could see it, right?
Right?
Should have gone with matte, some kind of matte tape.
Yeah, like a
Duct
matte tape.
Yeah. So it didn't. It won't
Or
stand
maybe
out.
3M tape to like blind
kind of
everybody.
3M, yeah. Some kind of 3M
He's all
reflective tape.
trying to blind him and shoot him after, right? Like ching
Yeah.
ching, right? Right?
Hey, you want to go through this WAPO article that I had up about how to stay safe in a mass shooting? This could be
All right.
vital information
All right,
for
bring it up
for,
so we can dissect it.
for our fellow Americans. It could be very vital. It could be very useful for someone. I'm honestly just shocked and amazed that this is a this is a thing that someone had to write. How crazy is this? All right, so apparently one of the first tips is be aware of the environment and how to escape.
Take notes, Jason.
Nah, I'm good.
So basically, this security expert says that you have to
Security
be
expert, dude.
advancing a location, meaning you need to do homework about the location that you're going to. Look at,
Scout it first, right?
scout it out,
Go a day
see
early.
where all the exits are.
Yes.
See if you can bring up schematics to the
Yes.
event that you're going to, and scout out all the areas.
Take notes, guys. If you guys are my friends on Facebook, on YouTube, or whatever, take notes right now. This is how to not get killed at an event, right? So, as Waldo pointed out, be aware of the environment and how to escape. Scout it out, Jay. We'll go a day early, Jay, right? We'll go a day early.
If you're going to go to watch a movie, figure out which theater you're going to watch it in, and figure out what all the where all the exits are.
And if you don't know, ask an usher. Ask an usher.
Yeah,
they'll let you know.
Figure out your plan. Figure out your plan of how to stay safe. Okay, the next one. Get down and move away from gunfire.
Oh, that's a great one. Explain to the folks at home, Waldo. Get down and move away from gunfire. Explain to the folks.
So the first thing you want to think about is pretty common sense, which is get down, and if you can determine which direction gunfire is coming from, get away. That's our general rule.
Yes.
This is from John Correa, who is another armed and unarmed self-defense teacher.
Expert.
Telling you to get down and move away from the gunfire. So the key is to not move towards the person shooting you.
You don't want to move towards the shooter, Jason, right? I don't want to go towards him or crawl towards him.
Right. The key is to get low and go away from the shooter.
That's tough. That's tough to do.
Yeah. Because the perp tends to be wildly firing, and so your very best bet is to be as small a target as you can and get away as fast as you can.
Now, I've heard these words before: be small of a target as you can. So almost out of sight, and you gotta be imagine yourself becoming small, becoming a small target while moving away.
Here's another handy tip.
Okay.
Get behind a solid structure, if possible.
A pillar, perhaps.
Yeah, a pillar, some kind of pillar. A car may not be ideal because it's made of weaker materials like fiberglass or plastic. All right. So hide behind a brick wall or concrete.
Or maybe a marble pillar, right? If you happen to be at a museum.
That might be a good one. Some
right?
kind of sheetrock. Yeah.
These are great tips. Let's
getting to a place you can't be seen is very helpful.
Oh, now that's tough. Getting to a place that you can't. Well, how would you know if you didn't see it yet? That's tough. That's why you should scout the day before, so you don't get Jason. So I don't get into any of these mistakes. I could be trying to become a small target, but I might not know where to go.
Yeah, you need to know where you're going. Have very good direction.
Those are great tips. Go ahead. I wish Steve and Joff were here so they can. These guys need this type of stuff.
Yeah, preparedness and training can help. So basically, what they're saying is
talked about that.
Okay, so what this guy's saying is, while much of a person's ability to react under the stress of a deadly threat like a mass shooting stems from instinct, such inclinations are definitely trainable. So just like children playing sports learn to react quickly to a fast pitch or a pass from a teammate, they can be taught how to react in an emergency. So can adults.
That line is crazy.
What?
So can Jason. We also
can train yourself.
Yes. And you know what, Jason? Don't mean to call you out. But what Jason could have done, even though Jason came home safe, I'm glad he came home safe. Jason could have went to the movie theaters earlier this week, check
Yeah.
out all the exits. Not only
Mhm.
that, but do it repeatedly by just like what this is the
Yeah.
preparedness and training.
Drill your exit
Correct.
strategies. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
And you might even have to like I might watch a movie and in the middle of it, I'm gonna pretend a shooting is happening and I would like to know, like so I know for myself to go through the drill. Like this is a shooting drill. Shooting drill, guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Calmly do it. Calmly do
Look
it.
at this. Look at this. Calm is a
I,
superpower.
Jason,
And the ability to stay calm under stress is a life and death. Is life and death in an emergency, no matter what the emergency is. So
mm,
stay calm in the middle
in the
of a
middle.
mass shooting. If
Jason,
you're in the
remember
middle of a mass shooting, stay calm.
Jason, remember how we used to do the fire drills and we'd be so calm leaving the class, right? How calm we were, how calm we were standing outside, like or going through the halls. You know what I mean? So if a mass shooting happens, we gotta feel that way, of almost, you know, be fast, try not to bump into anybody, right? In case the shooting's going on, try not to bump into anybody, and get out safe. All right, let's go to the next tips
Dude,
here.
okay. I'm actually kind of like, what the fuck about this one? This is not even a tip. How to deal with the fear caused by shootings.
Ooh,
For John Duffy, a Chicago area clinical psychologist who treats many teens and young adults, the distress calls started coming on Monday when the office was closed for July 4th. None of the patients were in Highland Park or directly affected by the shooting, but they were all in shock and in pain. Duffy said he spent
uh,
13 hours in appointments at his office talking through the latest American tragedy, this one in the Windy City's backyard. Everyone's been talking about the same thing, he said in a phone interview. He and other experts have been offering the public advice for how to cope. That's not even a tip. Holy shit, dude. This is what WAPO is writing.
so he basically, okay, now I'm not messing around. I'm not messing around right now. So he's basically telling you that a bunch of people were triggered,
Yeah.
and this paragraph should not even at all be in this article.
What the fuck is the point?
And
Like,
not only that, it messed up the flow of the good tips that we were getting.
right?
This is
And
this is
okay,
just how to deal with the fear caused,
by shootings.
and does not
Okay,
even
so
say how to deal with it. He just
yeah,
told us that there
it
was a
doesn't
bunch.
say. It's so stupid. So the last one is actually kind of ridiculous, though. Find a sense of purpose and control. Writing
Probably
to
the
members of
probably the most important one too. Although
Yeah. Writing to members of Congress, protesting, fundraising, and starting petitions are
great ways.
all ways
Mhm.
that regular people can help to harness their
Yes,
fear of daily life
yes,
in a society
that will
where
stop guns, guys. This will stop guns.
violence and devastation regularly dominate headlines.
Write your congressman, guys. I don't know if Jason will, but I know I will. If this can stop somebody from shooting up the post office or the El Pollo Loco, I'm all for it.
Yeah, how okay, that's the other thing I really fucking hate about this is that people in charge will basically tell the citizens, the people who live here,
Stop
that
laughing, Jason.
they need to do something, and it's really really shitty how they're putting it on the public to basically fix this problem when we have zero authority to fix it. It's really just, so how Republicans go, thoughts and prayers.
Oh
Democrats
yeah,
go
my
vote.
favorite
I
saying.
mean,
One of my favorite sayings. I mean that as
yeah,
much as God bless you.
yeah. And then, yeah, don't brush off the fear. You are like, these are not even tips. You know,
Never give up. That's a good one. That's a John Cena one, actually.
it's yeah, it's so dumb. It's important to have some kind of mindfulness practice every day.
Oh, I like that one though. Take care of yourself in other ways. And it
Lifestyle
says,
hygiene,
yeah,
getting regular, adequate sleep, eating well, exercising, socializing, and engaging in mindfulness.
This can stop mass shootings, by the way. These tips here.
This is how you stay safe during a mass shooting.
Correct. Make sure that you took a bath that day.
Yeah.
Make sure you took a bath that day.
How ridiculous is this article? It's a Washington Post article that offers
Waldo,
absolutely
I learned a lot from it.
Zero.
I learned. I like those. I'm gonna go back. First of all, again, I'm thank God Jason's safe. But I plan on also watching a movie. Dude, it might take another 3 weeks. I want to get 2 weeks of practice and training in. Going to the theater, paying for a movie. It's a shooting drill. Let's walk out calm, guys, and know my exits and all that stuff. And not only that, but, God forbid something were to happen to where I got to make myself a small target. You know what I mean? Like, you're literally willing yourself getting smaller is what I got from the article. Like, you're trying to shrink almost. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I will not be shot. You know what I mean? What's up, Shy? Guys, this is Ron, Sarah, Ninja Iceberg, Jay Jericho. This is episode 152 of the Hub 408. I hope you guys have loved this. I love this episode, actually. We argued over time machines.
We did.
We argued, or we got helpful tips from Waldo. I'm glad he brought that article up of how to avoid a mass shooting or how to prevent one. Good hygiene, plenty of sleep, Jay. That'll keep you safe from a mass shooting, right?
Yeah.
Because if you don't sleep,
run away from the shooter.
Oh yeah, right. Great tip, right? But see, that's what's gonna happen, Jay. You don't get enough sleep. You're a stinky guy. You have bad hygiene. You run towards the guy. You know what I'm saying?
Instead of running away from the guy.
Yeah.
I just think it's outrageous that Washington Post put out this worthless article on how to stay safe.
Like in my head, he just gave a blueprint to the mass shooter and where to find people to shoot. So I'm just like,
that's what you interpreted from that?
Yeah.
No.
He gave the blueprint to find the others. You know what I'm saying? That's what's.
What? But you're hiding.
Yeah, you gave him the blueprint to find you.
So do the opposite is what you're saying?
Yeah, pretty much.
Don't hide. Don't crawl away. Make yourself big.
Like you're getting bigger towards a fucking target. Like, hey, instead of becoming smaller, right?
There is a well, so here's the thing, right? There is a thing where they do teach you that if you have absolutely zero options and you have no weapons, to rush the shooter because it could throw. It's a legit thing because it's supposed to throw them off because they expect you to run, but if you charge them, they might hesitate because they're like, oh wait, what the fuck is going on? So that is a actual valid. It is a valid thing.
Crazy.
It's a
valid move.
But it's an absolute last-ditch effort, right?
Jason, I would do that. Remember that one wrestling move, the pounce, where you just blow up on the guy? You give him a shoulder block, but I think, right? Isn't it? You just throw your entire body. I would do that. I would give him a pounce. If a man is holding a gun, run towards him, ninja, and throw your shoulder in him, and make sure your arms go out as soon as contact is.
Yeah.
To sell the
move.
Yeah, sell the move.
Like the way Adam Cole did when he got pounced by Keith Lee into the crowd.
There you go. Shout out to Adam Cole, who's
happy birthday.
Going away for one. Yeah, he's
happy belated birthday, bro.
Is it his birthday?
I think it might have been like a day or two ago.
You know wrestlers' birthdays? You're nerdier than I am.
I just saw it on Twitter. That's why. That's it.
Very nerdy.
Okay. I saw it on Twitter.
Isn't it weird how we acknowledge certain celebrities' birthdays? I don't know if you've ever.
Oh yeah.
I don't really know birthdays. I'm very bad at that, to be honest.
I just see it on my feed sometimes.
You're bad at people's birthdays in real life, so how much more a fucking celebrity, right? Like,
Yeah. No,
I don't know. A
I
couple of
don't
years
remember
ago,
shit
I
like
was
that.
like, oh, it would have been Chris Farley. I don't know why I posted that. Like, Chris Farley would have been whatever years old. It's kind of sad, right? I posted
Yeah.
it,
No, that's true. That
but
is kind
then
of something.
I also feel like, well, why do I care? Why am I posting this? What's
Because he
up,
was part,
Yeah.
Katie? XX19. How are you?
because he was part of your
My
childhood.
childhood. Yeah, correct. And I would be very hurt if, yeah. I mean, well, I don't know. My childhood is being slowly torn away from me day by day. I think with articles like what we just read right now, and again, the way of the world, right? I don't want to be jaded, right? I don't want to be a curmudgeonly old man, even though I get called that all the time behind my back. Oh, you're an old man. I don't want to be that way. But I do want to evolve. I don't want to stay a certain way. But then there's certain times though too that I don't know. I might call somebody a sissy or a Nancy, and you can't do that no more though, right? You're not supposed to do that no more, right, Ninja? I can't call anybody a Nancy boy.
I mean, you can. I don't think anyone. I think most people will be like, "What are you talking about?" Rather than, "You shouldn't say that," because it's such a thing that no one really says in general. That I think it's more shocking and funny than offensive at this point.
Can you look up this one article, Ninja? It's about Sean Penn talking about masculinity. Can you look up that article real quick? It's a good thing to kind of end the night on. Thank you guys. This is a Hub 408 episode 152. Jason, we're on 152 now. You're in the house with Jay Jericho, Ninja Iceberg, me, Ron, Sarah. Thank you guys for joining us.
Uh, okay, let's see. Let's see what he says. Something about the feminization of men.
Yes, let's get through
I'm,
this article real
okay,
quick.
I'm gonna, I'm just gonna say it. I'm just gonna say it. Fuck it. I'm gonna say it.
So,
Most people who talk about the feminization of men and talking about masculinity, I
you know,
am 100% certain I could take out these people. I'm just gonna say that right now. I could beat the shit out of Sean Penn.
the great Sean Penn.
Spicoli.
Correct.
Yeah,
You're
I
gonna,
can. I
you're gonna
can.
beat the shit out of
Okay, guys. So go ahead and read
Okay,
that
this one.
headline for us right there. Yeah. Yep.
Sean Penn says men have become quite feminized, attributes shifting gender norms to cowardly genes.
Cowardly genes. All right. Let's see what old Sean Penn has to say. First of all, I do want to say I'm a fan of Sean Penn's work. I don't know about him as a
A
human.
person.
He's been kind of weird for like the last 20, 30 years even. Go ahead, Ninja.
He made a statement where he talked about how men in American culture are becoming wildly feminized in the ongoing effort to address and challenge gender roles and norms.
Mm,
I think that men have, in my view, become quite feminized. I have these very strong women in my life who do not take masculinity as a sign of oppression towards them.
mm,
There are a lot of, I think, cowardly genes that lead to people surrendering their genes and putting on a skirt.
mm. Okay.
I am in a club. I'm in the club that believes that men in American cultures have become wildly feminized. I don't think being a brute or having insensitivity or disrespect for women is anything to do with masculinity or ever did, he said. But I
Mm,
don't think that in order to be fair to women, we should become them.
mm.
Mm.
Jason, I want to hear your thoughts on that. Wait, is the article done already?
This article is, yeah.
Okay,
was
other articles.
wait, when was it? What year was that?
I think this just came out a couple of days
this
ago.
year.
Oh,
This year,
That just came out
January.
like yesterday. Yeah, but it was kind of making the headlines. That's why I had heard about it. But Jason, let's hear your thoughts on what Sean had said. Look at his face right there.
This is an amazing picture. Holy shit, dude. Holy shit.
looked like he just woke up. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about that. I really don't. It's kind of I don't know.
It's almost relatable, but not. I don't like Well, I'm only speaking for myself. I'm just saying for me, Ninja. I like what he said though about certain things being attributed to masculinity,
Mm,
not being,
uh,
not be, like saying, "Oh, that doesn't make you masculine," and it never did. That the stuff he said about that I think I agreed with.
yeah, the part where
What up,
he's
Brett?
like,
How are you?
oh, where is it? I think it was in the other article. I just want to see if there's more context.
But yeah, let's go back to that original article real quick. What's up, RH? How are you, brother? We're talking real quick about Sean Penn. A couple days ago, put out this, or actually earlier this year, but this article's
Earlier
been kind
this
of
year.
making the rounds. But he's talking about the masculinity or modern masculinity nowadays and how he believes men have become feminized. Is that the right word to
Yeah,
use?
yeah,
But he
yeah.
does say something here, and it's being highlighted right now. I don't think that being a brute or having insensitivity or disrespect to women is anything to do with masculinity or ever did. But I don't think, in order to be fair to women, we should become them. Interesting. So, with that very first part, Jason, that's highlighted, I could get with that. You know what I'm saying, Jay? Like, I could get with that.
Yeah.
I don't think that being a brute or having insensitivity or disrespect to women is anything to do with masculinity. There's ways that, of course, there's other ways that men can become masculine, and they're in some type of way that defines, I guess, their manhood or something like that.
Sure.
What are your thoughts about this, Waldo, about this article
Um,
and
I
what he
think,
said?
I think, I think
Is it
for
true? He said,
most,
hold on, let's get to the first part. He says, I think that men have, in my view, become feminized. I have these very strong women in my life who do not take masculinity as a sign of oppression toward them. There are a lot of, I think, cowardly genes that lead to people surrendering their real genes and putting on a skirt. What do you think about that?
I don't think he understands what he's talking about. Because he's talking about how being a man is a certain way. He doesn't give you an example of what it is, except that men wear jeans, right? And if you wear a skirt, then you are becoming feminized. And that's, I think he's conflating a couple different things. Like, I don't think he really, I don't think, but either way, yeah, he doesn't really, he doesn't know what he's talking about, right? And he doesn't give an example of what's masculine and what's feminine. He just
Mm.
starts talking about how men are becoming more feminine. I'm assuming it's something along the lines of like Harry Styles, right? Like
Mm.
Harry Styles wearing a dress and all that kind of stuff. Even though he's not trans or anything like that, he's just wearing a dress, just to wear a dress. Like or let's go back further. Let's talk about like a David Bowie, right? Very androgynous. One could say that he's feminizing himself. I mean, those are gender roles though, right? um, Gender roles are constructs that society puts onto people. Different societies have different ways of looking at what a man is and what a woman is, hell, back in the day, high heels were worn by men, you know? So these kinds of things that we're all talking about, like what are men supposed to be like? What are women supposed to be like? What are men wearing? What are women wearing? And how that's very rigid, binary. These are things that are just, it doesn't matter, but he thinks that it does. And it's ridiculous that he's talking about how men are being feminized when he's just talking out of his ass.
Shout out to RH Factor. He was saying here. Well, let me read some of his comments here. He was saying, first of all, great. He's doing great. Miss y'all. Hope everyone is well. He's saying, man, Sean Penn ratted out El Chapo, and he also said, I think guys have definitely calmed down in order to lock down some. I think he meant some ass, some pussy or something like that. I think dudes have absolutely bitched out since the '90s, but that's based off of old mentality. We watch in a middle ground during modern day evolution. That's what RH ended off with. So thank you, RH, for your comments there. Um, I could kind of
Mm,
agree. I could kind of a little bit go with guys being maybe more sensitive to things, right? Like we used to have tough skin back in the day, and I just said earlier to Waldo, if I could, I don't know if I could still call people a Nancy boy, a sissy. But there's
mhm.
some days that I fucking feel that way. Like, man, look at this sissy. You know what I mean? Or look at this Nancy
No,
boy.
I think you can. I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with calling someone a Nancy boy or a little sissy or something like that. I mean, some people can take it to a point where they're offended by everything, right? And there is, I feel like, a limit um, to that kind of mentality. Um, Kind of like there's a difference between um, you know calling someone a little bitch and dead naming somebody, right? Like the whole thing with Elliot Page right now being dead named, like that is actually
Wait,
considered.
explain that term to me. Dead naming.
So dead naming is basically when you know a person who has transitioned
Okay.
from male to female or female to male, and they take a new name for their new identity, right? Like Elliot Page used to be
Correct.
called Ellen Page, but then she
Correct.
transitioned and now is Elliot Page, and is now identifying as a male, right?
Correct. Correct.
Dead naming is if you consistently keep using Ellen
They're
Page instead
former.
of Elliot Page. Yeah, their former
Gotcha.
identity
Gotcha.
in a way where you're kind of like just being mean about it, right? And some people have been banned from Twitter, like Jordan Peterson. He got banned from Twitter recently because he kept dead naming him. And the point is that you're doing it to
To hurt somebody.
you,
Yes.
you're literally doing it to hurt somebody, right? Um, and it's targeted and it's sustained and it's you keep doing it, right? That's part of what harassment is that you keep doing you just keep doing that over and over and over again. If you call someone a Nancy boy and that's it, it's a one-time thing.
Yeah.
Like you go, oh, those cops in Uvalde, they didn't go into the house or the school to save those kids from that shooter. It's like, oh, they're little bitches. What a bunch of little pussies, right? And that's it. You know, that's how I see it personally. Other people might be like, I take offense to this and all that kind of stuff. And that's where I go. There is, I feel like, a certain uh, segment of the population that do take things too far in terms of like feeling aggrieved for whatever reason, right? Like, oh, how dare you say this? And it's like, well, why are you angry about it? And they don't. I think most people don't really have an answer to that. But what he's talking about, I think, is different. I think what he's talking about is something that's been around for a very long time, and that's people challenging gender norms, right? Like if a guy wears a dress, is that the feminization of this person? But it's like, dude, famous people have been doing this kind of stuff for many years, many years.
And I think just to piss people off.
Right, exactly. There's that, and then other cultures, like especially back in the days in theater, a lot of roles, the entire theater troupe is all men, but men had to play the women's part, right?
Correct.
Like Shakespeare back in the day, Chinese opera back in the day. These are all things that could be considered, you know, the feminization of masculinity or whatever. But it just depends on the culture, and we live in a culture where masculinity is portrayed in a certain way. I mean, look at what we have in the background. We have RoboCop, we have Stallone, we have Terminator. We have these icons of the '80s that
Hell yeah. Macho
exude
machismo.
masculinity. The American masculinity, the American idea of masculinity, and but that's America. You go to another country, they have a whole different view of that. So,
RH Factor had brought up two things. He said, I'm watching many friends in relationships totally switch roles, not judging, just observing," is what RH said. But he brought up one guy who I'm a huge fan of. He said a good example of somebody that will do things maybe just is Dennis Rodman, right?
sure.
He said, "Dude was a
Are
G.
you?
Loved Dennis Rodman." My
Yeah.
first
Would you
favorite
ever
movie.
call him a femme? Would you ever say that the feminization of Dennis Rodman? That dude would fucking whoop your ass.
Hey, that motherfucker was ahead of his time
Yeah.
with whatever he was doing.
That
know what I
motherfucker
mean?
guarded
I-
Shaq. Okay. He was the guy they put on Shaq. I'm not gonna say that he's a little bitch, okay? So, yeah, it just doesn't.
One of my
I mean,
all-time favorites. Love
it
Dennis.
honestly doesn't matter. I understand that for some people, they want to challenge gender norms, and that's fine because honestly, like I said, it's a social construct depending on the society that you live in, and the times that you live in.
Remember when Kurt Cobain first wore the dress and started killing it on stage, right?
Yeah,
People are like, "Oh, he's," you know what I mean? It's like, no, I
little
think he was
Nancy
doing that.
boy. Yeah, little
Yeah,
Nancy boy.
yeah. He's like,
It's like,
no,
yeah,
there's no one more of a man than fucking Cobain. You know what I mean? And like, so for him to, you know, walk that line and to make a statement out of that. You know what I mean? People
yeah,
were like, "Oh, it was art." It was like, no, it was not art. He was not trying to be fashionable. This guy did this for a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Yep. The RH said Kurt rocked a dress as an FU. Correct. You know what I
yeah.
mean? So like, I
Which
remember
is
when.
which in theory is, I mean, well, not in theory, but you can consider that art, right? Because part of art is to challenge your
Yeah,
thinking.
that's
So
true.
you can look at that as art. You can look at it that way as well. It is an fu, but that's what you got out of it. That's your interpretation of it.
I think he also
That's
did it the
fine.
best too. I think he did it the best. I think it was Kid Cudi. I think last year, I think he said he rocked a dress in honor of Cobain. I think, but I think he might have totally missed. Well, I don't know. I mean, we just talked about right now, as an artistic statement. Maybe you could look at it as that. But I think he took it more of that, like, oh, I did this because Kurt did it as an artistic statement. Kind of missing the thing of no, it was actually a fu to everybody out there. You know what I mean? So screw this establishment type art. And RC, hi, how are you? So that's what I'm saying. Like iconoclasts like that who are ahead of their time, like a Dennis Rodman. Remember when Rodman married himself, Jay? Right? He married himself, and then he went to go play a game later on that night. Right?
Yeah.
I don't know if he,
Oh,
right? He was out. I'm gonna marry myself. By the way,
I mean,
one of
that's
the
a very
most.
popular thing now. Yeah,
and,
it's actually kind of picking up
and later that night
a
he
little
pulled
bit.
double-digit rebounds. So
Yes.
I mean,
By the way,
it's a thing
I
nowadays.
love that book too. Bad as I Want to Be. I bought that when it first came out. I love that book. Highly recommend that. That's actually a hub record right there. Bad as I Want to Be. Go check that out. Although I don't like later day Dennis, where he's like Kim Jong's bestie,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
They're eating
it's
like
wild,
cold noodles together.
wild,
Like that's fucking crazy right there.
very
Right?
wild.
Yeah, I don't know if I can fuck with that, but championship Bulls, Dennis, I love. Even Detroit Pistons, I hated him when I was a kid. loved him later on as I've grown to love many basketball players. Reminder: Pippen ain't ripping. Not a big Pip fan right now. Ellie, hi, how are you? I am not a big Pippen fan right now, but I'm how do you say it? I will always love him because of the stuff that he gave the Bulls. But the way that you're talking about Michael and all this stuff, like you crazy, bro. Like I can't even. Ugh, I don't know. Yep, this is a Hub 408, episode 152. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We talked about all kinds of cool shit today. Talked about traveling back in time. Me and Jason were arguing and all that stuff. But I had a thing that my premise was if a man from whatever the future or the past or whatever came through a portal and said, "Hey, I will reverse all the bad things that's happened in the last however 4 years. Trump will never happen, or January 6th will never happen, or what were mass shootings won't happen. The Black Lives Matter. What's his name would have been alive. We say he would have corrected the world if we gave back the 4 Warriors championships. Would we have done it? We would have the memory in our head, but in order to, we love basketball so much, we're like, hey, I'm going to take away the Golden State Warriors championships and correct the world. Will you come with me? And I specifically said to Jason, our presence is changing it. And me and Jason were arguing, but I don't want to explain it to you. Go back and rewatch the episode. It's a very fun episode. I actually might chop that up, Jason. I might actually take that segment and highlight that also, along with the Ninja Iceberg had a great article, how to avoid a mass shooting.
How to stay safe during
how to stay safe. Great tips, right, Jay? Make sure you practice, Jay. Like I'm going to a concert in like a month. I'm gonna want to go to the shoreline, make sure I know where all the exits are at, right? Or an auditorium, right? If I happen to be watching a play or something, I want to make sure where all the exits are at. I might want to pay for a play. And then in the middle of it, stand up and go, shooting drill, guys. Shooting drill. Let's walk out calmly. You know what I mean? Practice these things. Thank you guys for hanging out with us again. This is a Hub 408, episode 152. Dang, we gave them a lot of time today.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So let's head into recos. If we have anything to recommend. Jason, do you have anything to recommend for this episode of the Hub 408?
Just go watch. Go ahead.
Oh no, RH Factor said pack a gas mask, an MRE, a morphine juice pack, which I love, and a vape. Yes, dude. Because he said stay home. You know what I mean? Chill out at home. First of all, morphine's probably the best drug I've ever had, only because of the hospital, not because I'm a fiend. You know what I mean? It's the absolute best drug I've ever had. I remember when I was in the hospital, I was like, I forget. They gave me a cocktail of morphine and like Demerol or something like that, where they mixed it up, and it was amazing. And it felt like I felt like I was this close to the ceiling. It was amazing. But he said an MRE and a vape. So those military rations, right? I'm a big fan of that one guy online too, where he eats the rations from like World War II. You ever see that guy?
1950s, yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome, right? That guy's great, dude.
Yeah.
I enjoy his stuff. All right, what are we looking at here? Oh, sorry.
I
bet you meant to share that
stuff.
Survive the mass shooting with a pack. Oh, that's what he meant. He meant if you to survive a mass shooting, pack a gas mask, an MRE, morphine juice pack, and a vape. Morphine's cool for the end game. Hold out. I probably would too.
You should also have a tourniquet. If you're gonna, you should also have a tourniquet
and a copy of both Mad Magazine and Cracked Magazine. Right? Something to pass the
For a
time.
splint, if you break your leg running away.
I remember me and Jason and my other cousin Jeffrey were like, "Oh, I know how to make a splint." I think because it was because of GI Joe. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And knowing's half the battle. You know. By the way, the return of the O-rings, Jay. They're doing the old school GI Joes with the rubber bands again.
Sweet.
The only thing is, guess how much they're going to charge us?
$50.
No, I think it's probably like a $20 figure,
Damn it.
just like what they do now. I know.
Jerks.
It's crazy. Dude, there's this. I don't know if you saw it. It's so badass, dude. It's a his tank. Did I show? Did I share that in the?
I've seen it on.
Or transforms into Megatron, and you get
Yeah.
Baroness with it. So you get a scale.
It's the crossover.
So,
right?
dude, it's so badass, dude. First of all, you get Baroness in a his tank, but then you also get Megatron transforming from the his tank. I think that's. Although I don't know if I would have chose Megatron. Although Megatron's been the tank, I think.
Yeah.
For the most part.
I think it would have been cool if it was like a Shockwave.
That's what I was thinking of because they did. I remember when they did the crossover for the GI Joe Transformers, the original San Diego Comic Con stuff. I think it was that. It was Shockwave. You get Shockwave, and I forget who else, but Shockwave was a his tank, I think. Yeah. So, yeah. Jay, anything to recommend? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. Thor: Love and Thunder.
There you go. I'm gonna try to watch this week. I don't know if I'll have time. I've been working every day, but
Yeah, the boss wasn't really that full, but it was full enough. Probably like 3/4. There's still empty seats around us, so.
I might wait a couple weeks.
Yeah.
Before it clears out.
No rush.
COVID's starting to tick back up, so I'm like, I'm not gonna do anything weird.
Man, it is, right?
It is.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. Yeah. All right, saying appreciate y'all staying solid on topic. Appreciate catching y'all live, man. I appreciate you, RH. You know, we do this for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folks that happen to be watching us. So I appreciate. Well, we do it for us, basically. But thank you for watching. I appreciate you.
He's been usually our one of our constant viewers.
Oh yes. Constant, consistent.
Yeah.
You got 5 minutes. You know, you probably take. Hey, let me go take a smoke break with the hub. You know what I mean? Go say what's up. You feel me? It's beyond quality over quantity. Yo, Rhett, first of all, Rhett, man, you know, hopefully we do get to meet one day. You know, but thank you for always supporting the hub, man. I appreciate you for listening to the topics that we got going on. Any other recommendations, though, Jay, for this week's episode of the Hub 408? Anything cool that you've seen or anything out there?
The coolest thing I've seen was when they released the Lego Transformer crossover, Optimus Prime. You guys see that yet?
Yeah, the Lego Optimus Prime. It's ridiculous.
Yep. It transforms legitimately like the like the G1.
Big ass, massive, yeah. Crazy.
It's right here.
Yeah.
And you copped it. What was the retail on that?
A lot.
Yeah, it's pretty expensive.
More than 2?
No, below that. Just a little bit below that.
Pair of shoes?
Yeah. My amazing partner, Joe Boss, got it for me.
Nice.
Out of the blue. Right before I almost bought it.
Wait. I don't have it with me, but
Which one?
I went Hot Wheels hunting today, and for the first time ever, I got myself a mainline Tesla, the truck.
Oh,
the Cybertruck.
Wait, Cybertruck?
Is it the remote controlled one?
No.
It came in the dollar pack.
The dollar one. It's like a $50 car. So I was lucky. I was lucky, and I got the Cybertruck. Super happy. I do want the dude. I don't know if you've ever bought the remote control, Jason. Those remote control Hot Wheels are fucking amazing, dude. Like I bought the GTR, so I
Ooh,
was able to get a GTR. But like when I found out like the Cybertruck, at first you couldn't find it. I think you can find it now, but they got the R-Pats Batmobile, really cool.
they
You know
they
what I mean?
released another DeLorean.
Oh, for the RC.
No,
Oh, dude, I know. I missed it yesterday. Some guy was in front of me at Target picking them out, and I was like right behind him. He's like, "Oh, sorry." And then when I looked, he had all of them in his fucking arm. I'm like, "Fucking
what
guy,
a
dude."
dick.
Yeah, and like he didn't leave me nothing, and I was just like standing there looking like a dumbass and shit. So yeah. But I was gonna say RH is a big fan though of Tesla. You know what I mean? Got to work for the man a couple of years ago. Got to work, I believe, on the SpaceX stuff, right? RH.
Nice.
But no, he didn't even kick me down one. You know what I mean? But yeah, Anyways, I was happy though today. Got the and Jason, I was in the dick today. I left some cars there.
Oh
I
yeah,
left some cars, but sometimes you got to get all of them. If there's not enough, like if I got to get all of them, I got to get all of them. But then some will have doubles, triples. I left those. But the Cybertruck, I believe it's one per box. You know what I mean?
oh okay,
If that. But it's usually one per box. It's like almost a. Last time I saw it, it was like a $50 car. So that's a great investment.
yeah.
A
That's
dollar
like a
car turns into
that's
50.
a yeah.
And I got a Super Chase from Matchbox, their version of the Treasure Hunt. It's a Bronco, Jason, and it actually says on the card, Super Chase Hunt.
Interesting.
It's a $60 car, so if you ever find that, it's 97 cents, just like, but hard to find nowadays. Hard to find
Oh
nowadays.
yeah, sure.
So yeah, anything else, Jason, besides recommending people to buy fucking Legos, Transformers, and stuff? No. Okay, cool. Rhett was saying, yeah, the first landable rocket is what he worked on. He was an
Ooh,
engine technician, second shift assistant lead. That's a hell of a
nice.
title right there. You know what I mean? Basically, I just want to get high and watch rockets go into space, like right there. Like I'd like to be like a couple of, you know, not 50 yards away where it's like the flames are engulfing. I'd like to be closer watching a rocket take off. Or actually to even be in a rocket, Jay. Kind of like what fucking Captain Kirk did, right? When he went to space and he came back and he fucking cried, right? I'd like to have that feeling. Right? I don't know about you, Ninja. I'd like to go to space.
Sure.
RH is saying built over 100 Merlin 1D rocket engines. This was
Nice.
after touring with DJ Motivate. I needed health insurance. Hey, who doesn't actually? But dude, to say that you've helped, well, first of all, helping, with the brand is awesome. But the fact that you got to work on rocket engines. I used to always have this joke with Steve. Shout out to Steve of the Hub 408. But we used to always say this one guy one time during basketball, he said, "It's not rocket science, guys." Right? And then the following time, the next game or the next week, one time he said, "This isn't brain surgery, guys." Right? So then the third week, me and Steve said in front of the guy, "This isn't rocket surgery." All right? And the guy looked at us like, "The fuck?" We were mocking him. So anything having to do with rocket science or brain surgery, I'm for. Rocket surgery, even more. You know what I mean? Yeah, rocket science is probably easier than brain surgery. I'd like, and not only that, but well, I don't know. I was gonna say, what gets you more pussy? It's probably the rocket science shit, right? It's probably that because you'd be so knee deep in a brain surgery, you probably don't have time for a relationship. You know what I'm saying? I think so. I don't know. I'm not a licensed professional. Ninja, do you have any recommendations for the 408 so we can end this also?
Yeah, I've just been watching Spy X Family and Comey Can't Communicate.
Such a great anime.
So I've just been watching anime this week. So yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
I actually was watching some anime too. Tiger Mask, W. I believe they have that on Crunchyroll or whatever, but I saw it free on like Tubi. They had like season one on there. I've recommended it before. I watched it again. It was awesome. Go ahead and check that out. Um, and that's pretty much it. I don't have any other recommendations other than oh, actually, I do. There's this one. Well, maybe Ninja can relate with this right here. One of my favorite stations growing up was Live 105 out here in the
Yeah.
Bay Area.
Hmm.
I love guys like Steve Masters. These guys were amazing to me. These guys were my childhood heroes. What I'm doing right now, Ninja, I remember you remember this back in the day. It was either Memorial Day, a Labor Day. Sometimes they would do this on New Year's Eve. But on Live 105, they would play the 500 or the 105 greatest songs of that year
Yeah,
or of
yeah,
all time.
yeah. Hmm.
So I found a list. I found, as I believe it's rocklist.com, and you can check out from 1986 all the way to like 2006 all the best songs from either that decade or whatever. And one of the best lists I saw, I believe it's the Revolutionary 300. They take the best 300 songs of modern rock
Mm.
at the time, the 90s, right? So I remember as a kid, they would start all the way from, say, song number 300 and go all the way to one, right?
Yeah, yeah,
So it kind of goes crazy with these lists because as soon as you click on the list, you already see what's at number one,
hmm,
you know? So you'll get your The Smiths, How Soon Is Now. You'll get your Just Like Heavens up in there. Well, one thing that I saw, which is funny, I was telling Liana, shout out to Liana, but a top 10 song that kept reoccurring happens to be Damien Wolf, our son. His favorite song. And his favorite song is a Peter Gabriel song called In Your Eyes. In your eyes. Dun, 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 dun. But I never considered that a modern rock classic, and it kept
yeah.
repeating over the years. It was always at number 10.
Huh.
So going through this list, Waldo, fell in love with my childhood all over again. You know, I'm clicking on stuff from 1991, 1992. I'm seeing names I haven't seen in a long time, like the Soup Dragons, you know, Charlton's UK. You know, certain bands that like I used to love back in the day, but I haven't listened to in a long time, like the
Yeah.
Jesus and the Mary Chain. You know,
Hmm.
certain guys, I'm just like, oh man, that's a great song. So instead of looking at the top of the list, I went to the very bottom and I started making a Spotify playlist.
Yeah.
So I get that feeling of Live 105 from
Hmm.
kind of back in the day.
Yeah.
So if you
I
guys like
I
modern
also
rock,
have I also have a Spotify playlist. I literally called it Live 105.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a
Yeah.
bunch of like
So
90s music, and I've got a couple of like new stuff in there as well that kind of fits that vibe. But yeah, it's mainly like 90s like high school stuff, middle school, high school stuff that I listen to.
yeah, there's some songs in there that I have not listened to in a long time, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah.
that's a one hit wonder, right? But it's a
Hmm.
great song. So you're
Yeah.
like, okay. Then you kind of fall into a wormhole of like, all right, I remember them being one hit wonders, but do they have anything else? So
Right.
cool. So I love how my regulars will be in the top 10. Certain
Hmm.
guys that I love, right? Like The Cure or Morrissey or whoever. But I like the guys that like number number 263. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I don't know who that is, you know, and it's kind of cool. You know, you get a lot of
Good
Chestnut.
Charlotte.
Yeah, Good Charlotte, or, you know. Well, see, it starts getting horrible. I think maybe 02, 03. That's when
Late.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
God, I really,
That's when it starts to get kind of bad. Yeah.
yeah, like really, really bad stuff. But like in the early, like 91, you get Tom's Diner, you know,
Yeah.
Susan Vega. You get that type of stuff, right? Or Chapter
Yeah.
House,
I got
or
I got like
Pavement.
I got like Blind Melon, on here. Gin
Yes.
Blossoms.
Jen, right? Irene, right? Is that one of the
Better
songs?
better than better than
Better than
Ezra.
Ezra. And I don't want the world to see me. Cause I don't think that they'd understand, right? You get a lot of that. Or what's that? What's that one song? Stained. That one band.
Stained. No, I don't have Stained on here. I don't like Stained.
What's that? It's been a while
Yeah. No, I
since
don't like
I
that song.
said, ugh, ah,
Some Bush.
Bush. Oh, dude, I love Bush. And I think I've told.
Some,
Well, if I haven't told this story yet, first time I ever went to the strip club. Shout out to my cousin Ryan. We go to the Pink Poodle. Bush is playing, and they're playing a Machine Head. Jason, she dances. My first lap dance, by the way, Asian Vietnamese chick, so awesome. And I remember Ryan goes, "Oh, dude, she's feeling you. Oh, I'll buy you a lap dance." So it's my first lap dance. So Ninja, that song Machine Head. You know how in the beginning you get the
yeah. Uh-huh.
and remember, you got to go through that whole guitar part
Mhm.
before you start singing, right? Before you start singing, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, right?
Mhm.
So literally, the first 30 seconds of that song is a da na 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 na, and the girl's just dancing, taking off her clothes, right, Jason? Setting the mood, right? 30 seconds in, all her clothes are off, right? I think it's a 3 minute song, right? But the entire time after the 30 seconds, all she did was finger herself. It was amazing. She didn't even dance anymore. I just, I've never saw that in real life from a person I didn't know. I was just like, this is awesome. And I got her number because she gave it to me, and I remember putting that number on my Bush CD. And I was just like, I'm never gonna lose this CD because that was my first lap dance and stuff. So shout out to Bush. You feel me?
Nice.
And I've always been a fan of what's his name, Gavin.
Gavin Rossdale.
Yeah, he was one of my. I had a man crush on him back in the day. Like, oh, dude, if I could be like that guy,
Mhm.
yeah, it's awesome, right? And he got to have Gwen Stefani at her height, right?
Yeah.
Kind of cool, right? Kind of badass, right? Not the not the leftover throwaway, you know. Dun, 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 dun. You know what I mean? I don't like. I don't like. The shit is bananas. I hated that song so much. Ooh, that's my shit. That's my shit. I hate when guys would sing that to me. To me, that's when I thought they were becoming fem. That's when I thought America was being feminized. When
Mm.
guys would sing BANAA or whatever. I can't even spell banana. That's how straight I am, Ninja.
Banas.
There's this one clip from the Hub for. Oh no, I think it's when we're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. You're like,
Oh,
must you? You're like, must you be straight? I was like, yeah. What if I'm part of the other team? I was like, but I'm in the other part of town. Oh my god. Anyways, this is the Hub 408, episode 152. We're out of here, guys. Any last words, Jay? Ninja?
Nope. Let's get out of here.
Okay, next. I was gonna say next week. Let's have some fun next week. I kind of wanted to talk about all the movings going around in the NBA. So as the picture gets a little bit, more complete with the
Yeah.
guys and stuff, maybe we can look back and stuff because whew, a lot of changes, a lot of
A lot.
changes. Not only that, we're also not favored to win anymore, according to according to Vegas. Right, the teams have shifted a little bit. You know what I mean? According to so it's going to be a great discussion to get
It's gonna be
into.
Minnesota, isn't it? With Rudy Gobert.
Well, see, Jay and Waldo, this is one thing I wanted to talk to you guys. Well, we'll talk about it next week. But I was like, dude, is it the return of the big men?
Yeah.
Like it's been a long. Hold on, though. Don't just say nah. But I'm just saying, Jay. When's the last time you seen two big guys? And the focus has not been on big guys in a long time. So that's kind of cool. Even though I'm not a Gobert fan, I'm not. I just like, hey, they're trying something new. I was like, hey, even the Warriors don't got bigs like that. you know. So I was like, all right, this is kind of cool. I don't know. We'll talk about it next week though, right? So, anyways, guys, this is a Hub 408 episode 153 next week. We will see you guys later. Peace.